Okay, we are broadcasting. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Huzzah!
Yay!
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Tonight, we are continuing our brand new campaign of Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. And our players tonight, Paul Weimer as Xenophon.
I am most pleased to meet you all and tell you, listener, of our adventures.
Jason Banks as Exel.
Greetings, everyone.
Lee Burdett as Flounce.
Hi there!
David Archambault as Dianok.
This is all rather new, and I hope it's pleasant.
And Nobilis Reed as Kanthan.
Hello, everybody.
So, when last we left off, last session, most of it was spent doing session 0 type stuff. But then we began the first adventure out of the Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel campaign, which is called Salted Legacy. But we got a little ways into it, so let's sum up here. So, first and foremost, where are we? Well, this group of would-be heroes have joined each other as a common act of kindness when Kanthan's wagon broke down and needed assistance at the Radiant Citadel. And then you all decided to travel with him through these mysterious, magical Concord gem vehicles, traveling to the land of, Subkunkau. Am I saying that right? Let's see. Hang on. I can get it in just a second. There's a pronunciation guide. I'm second guessing myself about it. Yeah. Sabsunko. That's what it was. Sabsunko. And so you've all traveled together there to help deliver the goods that went to the restaurant where Kanthan's employer works. But also going on while you were there was the fabulous night market. And the description there, as the sun dips below the horizon, the Dinsing night market twinkles to life, gradually igniting in a dazzling display. The smells of food carts filled with pot stickers, coconut desserts, spiced meats, sticky buns, and more drift amid bright bouquets of glowing flowers and magical lights in the shapes of vendors' wares and whimsical mascots. Crowds of shoppers wander the stalls, drawn by the colors, smells, and music. But as you were exploring the night market and sampling some of its wares, you were nearby the Tianmo Noodles cart when suddenly a young kobold by the name of Gammon Zungoon apparently stole a handful of green onions from the noodle cart and its proprietor Lanmei Tianmo, as shown in this piece of artwork here. And although it was obvious he had just grabbed the onions from that stall and run away with them, he claimed that these onions had been previously stolen from his family's cart, the Zungoon seafood cart, and that their cart had also previously been knocked over and that he was only taking the onions back. And then eventually his mother, Kusa Zungoon, shows up and takes her son's side, somewhat predictably. And you all learn that apparently there is a long-standing feud between the Zungoon and Tianmo families that, although it had been supposedly at peace in recent years, there is still some lingering feelings there that has led the Tianmo and Zungoon families to each believe the other is responsible for restarting the feud. And you all were enlisted to help investigate, and each side offers free food and gold reward if you can find proof that the other family is responsible for the new mischief. And then after you had made that agreement before you had really done anything else yet, a man named Kasim Arun shows up, and it is one of these two guys in this picture. If you you should have this showing in your Roll20. This is one of the proprietors of the Spicy Brothers food cart. He shows up and basically suggests to you that if you want to have a good time at the night market, he advises that you avoid getting embroiled in family politics. And then when you start to wonder if he maybe has some reason beyond just idle advice to have you not get involved, he basically decides, you know what, never mind, do as you like, and then leaves. So a little bit strange, but of course, it's hard to know what else is to be done there. So before we begin with your new investigation, I would like each of you to briefly, once again, physically describe your character.
Okay.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Kenthan is a average height human with swarthy skin and a broad smile. He's wearing chain armor and has a pair of cooking cleavers on his belt and a giant soup spoon ladle.
Xenophon is a average height Githzerai, so he's about a little more than 5.5 feet tall. He has grayish rather than green skin, and he's dressed in traveler's clothes, has writing implements and a musical and pipes, and he's your typical traveling Githzerai bard. Oh wait, that's not so typical, is it?
Yes, I just realizing I have artwork for those watching in video
Yep.
form to see each of our characters here.
Yes, Flounce will go next since her picture is up. Contrary to the actual picture up there, Flounce is a very small bun with a she's a Harengon fighter, so she is a very small bun with a lot of fluff and heavy armor with a giant 6-foot glaive on her back. She does have a long sword that she can wield two-handed, but she has she's short ear. She's mostly made of fluff.
And fierceness.
Yes, and fierceness. She's fluff and fierce, fluffy and fierce.
Yes. So Harengon, for anyone unfamiliar, is basically anthropomorphic rabbit person.
And Dianok is a wood elf, has bronze skin, brown hair, blue eyes, about 5'10", and is missing both middle fingers off their hands, and just wears fairly simple robes.
Axel is a tall, close to 7 foot if you measure the ears, but he is gaunt and a sickly white looking Harengon with a off-putting, slightly too big of a mouth. It's almost like it's very eerie. And he even cants his head to the side a little bit, almost as if he's hearing someone speak to him from time to time.
Excellent. So, this new group of adventurers here, you are here in the night market. You are currently located mostly closest to the Tianmo Noodle. The Tianmo Noodle cart. Your investigation is now on your own terms. What would you like to do?
I want to pursue a question that was still kind of left open last time.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
My lady Tienmo,
Mm-hmm.
where did you get the onions?
Oh, so you've gone to ask her. She went back
Yes.
to the cart, but you can certainly
Right.
go
Yeah,
to the
that's
cart.
that's where
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm going to her, and I'm gonna ask because I asked her last time why the the
Kusa.
Zungoons would
Yeah.
say that they were stolen,
Mm-hmm.
and she kind of gave an ambiguous answer. So I want to ask a little more directly.
We bought them at the same produce stand that everyone buys from here in town. Now, the
Where
fact that the Zangoon family seafood also buys the similar type of onions doesn't mean that just because we have onions like theirs, that somehow that means the ones we have were stolen from them. I'm
did
sure
you
they're just lying to try to smear our reputation.
did you buy like the last ones of the morning, and so they feel like you
No,
took more than you needed?
I mean, we take great care to try to buy the best of the produce that we can find available on any given day. It's part of our, the pride of our marketplace and all of that sort of thing. But I mean, green onions are not hard to come by generally.
I would like to make an insight check and see if she's
Sure,
holding something back.
go ahead and make an insight check. All right, that's a 22. Yeah, she seems genuinely perplexed why anyone would accuse them of stealing green onions. Like, you get the impression from her that she's like, that's such a bizarre thing to accuse someone of stealing. Like,
Yeah.
why would they even do that? It's one thing. It's like obvious. You get the impression that when she says, "I think they're trying to smear our reputation," that's speculation because she cannot imagine any other reason that they would accuse her of that.
Okay. All right.
Would it be possible, good lady, if you could tell us where this produce market where you buy the onions is located? We will definitely like to go there ourselves.
Well, I mean, it's closed now. That's that's the
Day
farmers
market.
market that's in the open in the day.
I see.
Um,
But I mean, you
I
can see, and she shows you that they have like a whole crate it's all the different produce that they've, the fresh
gotten through the
produce they
days.
have, and they say it's like we have onions. He just came in and he grabbed a handful.
All right. I am going to. I'm going to head over to the Zungoon Family Feast Seafood Cart.
Okay. Well, are
I
you
don't
guys
have
doing
anything
any
else.
other investigation? You're just asking questions.
Well, I mean,
I-
my thing is asking questions. So,
Okay.
if
I
somebody
know
else wants to do
Dianoc,
something else.
Dianoc would like to basically get a count of what was of what's
Okay.
in that crate, just to.
All right, what I'm gonna just briefly touch on is we can absolutely say some of those details for flavor, but we're abstracting this with an investigation roll. We're not necessarily going to do individual rolls for specific clues, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, you're not going to solve the mystery by discovering exactly how many green onions they have. That's not how the adventure is written. That's all I'm saying. So
Okay.
so if what you would like to do is investigate the scene, then
Sure,
we can do
sure.
that with a roll.
I'll investigate the scene with the roll.
Okay. And is anyone else helping to give
Yep,
Diana
I will
advantage?
assist.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a slightly different tack, so I don't think I'm assisting this one.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll your investigation then, Diana, with advantage due to France's assistance.
I got a 24.
Okay, so what you do, looking around this cart, you don't necessarily know all of the details of how they would normally operate, but basically there's nothing in and around any of their operation that seems like suspicious in any way. All of it seems like, they've, it would be above board. There doesn't seem to be any goods that seem out of place or anything that catches your eye in that regard. However, what you do see that underneath one of the prep tables, you see some persimmon peels. And the thing that stands out to you about that is that A, the rest of their prep doesn't end up with a lot of stuff on the ground, right? They have their, their barrel that where the scraps go that aren't going to go into something, right? The produce scraps. And so having something on the ground is weird, but also it's just the peels and you don't see persimmons amongst the other produce that they have.
Madam Tone, do you use persimmons uh, in your recipes?
She frowns and looks at the peels and says, well, no, persimmons are not a common purchase around here. They're not really in season around these parts. We don't use any persimmons. I don't know where those would have come from. I mean, unless Gammon, Zungun left them here, although for what purpose I couldn't possibly say.
One will come out and Mage Hand will come put those in a little pouch. Scoop them up and put them in a little pouch, and that's an oddity to be looked at.
Sure, yeah. Xenophon, did you have something?
I did.
else?
What Xenophon wants to do is Xenophon's going to. There's other stalls around Tiny Noodles, and he wants to go talk to the vendors there and see what they saw, see if they saw anything out of the ordinary besides the actual theft.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And run down, see if there's anything they've noticed, any unusual activity around the noodle shop that might point to a
right. So I think that there is a cart nearby that sells a lot of just little like beadwork, like bracelets and other embroidery sorts of things. But they see you approach and they're very excited and they start telling you, "Oh, would you like to see some of our fine beadwork, sir?"
Gentle being, no, I'm sadly here on a mission to forge peace back in the night market and find the solution to a theft. You may have heard of the long-standing conflict between the two families here in the night market, and it has flared up again into
sir,
fulminating.
I think you'll find that craftsmanship of this variety is far more interesting than market business.
Perhaps, but since I have agreed to look into the market business, I must perforce run down that vein before I would do something as to say sample or purchase your wares. As fine as they are, good lady.
I think your passive insight is detecting a gate closing behind this person's face, and I think they kind of just they lean over the counter towards you a little bit, and they just say, "Sir, market business isn't for outsiders. We keep our issues to ourselves."
Well, both of these families have asked us to look into the matter. So for at least this market business, it appears that we are within the pale, as it were. So could you not see to help me, since both of these two feuding families have turned to me and my new companions? I'll gesture over in the direction of the noodle shop.
Sir,
come to the
I don't
conclusion.
know you. I don't know where you come from or what you're doing here, but I'm telling you right now that this is between people who are regulars of the market and proprietors of the market, and I'm not going to just spread gossip just to anybody. So please.
If that is your wish, then I will respect your wishes, and I will withdraw the question and the conversation. Good day. I'm assuming that all the other vendors in the same area are going to give me the same gate.
Yeah, so I will. In fact, I think I think as perhaps you may come back a little perplexed from that exchange, and Lamai will tell you is like yes, I think the problem is that, I asked for your help because you were witnesses to the crime. and you
Yes.
seemed interested in solving it. But
we are.
generally speaking, it's true. You are outsiders here, and people don't know you. They're not going to be willing to just share inner business with you. But, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know if you are aware, but here in the market, we have as a nightly activity, a great thing. You may have seen the large tents in the center of the market.
Yes.
That is where the market games are held, and it's all a matter of sponsoring different businesses and that sort of thing. It's all just a bunch of fun, but certainly, if you were to participate in the market games and maybe even do well, it would be clear that you are here, you are participating, you are involved, and people would know you and be more willing to open up, perhaps.
What sort of games are found in this market?
Let's go find out.
Let's go find out. Cathan's a little more direct. Fly just wants to talk all the time. Bah, 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 bah.
It's like, I think what she says is, well, I haven't been following them quite as closely right now. They change them out every so often, you see. But I know that there are 3 of them in effect tonight. But you'll have to go investigate.
Would
Investigate, then we
Zan-
shall.
Axel speaks up and says, "Would you be looking to sponsor someone in these games, even if it was to help us?"
Well, no, I understand what you're saying. The proprietors don't sponsor contestants. They put on the game.
Mm.
Oh, that's a different proposition.
Right, yeah,
although
so we have done them in the past, for example, and certainly I was very aware of what the game we were playing for was on, but we don't have any of none of ours are in current rotation, so I don't know all the details of what they've got set up over there, and we're usually pretty busy running here, but it's something that it gets around.
Is there someone in particular we should look for who's in charge of the games this year?
Oh, I'm sure that they will have plenty of barkers recruiting people to participate if you just go to the central tents.
Let's go.
Okay.
let's go play some games.
Sounds like well. Why don't we look at the other
The
scene of the scene of the other cart first?
especially now that
Yeah.
Dianok has found these weird persimmons.
Yes.
Yeah. So
What-
it just so happens that if if we're looking at our map here, the site of Tianmo Noodles and the site of Zungoon Family Seafood, you could walk through that central area, the event grounds, in order just on your way if you wanted to see what it was, or you could certainly go around the long way also. However you like, it is up to you
I think-
because this is
I
that kind of
think-
game.
Walking through would be a good idea,
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
especially if it's something that other people are doing, so it won't look weird.
Sure, absolutely. And so, what you discover passing through this central area is that there are, in fact, 3 different big tents that are, preparing to show different games. And it looks like one of them is getting ready to start pretty soon, like in about 15 minutes. And it has regular slots, like it's going to be held a couple of times over the course of the evening, and then there are 2 of the others that are set to start a little bit later in the evening. But the first one is the Arun Family Pepper Challenge, which is a test of endurance hosted by the Spicy Brothers. Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
think I'm gonna.
and
Oh,
then
boy.
the 2 the other 2 that are happening a little bit later, there is the Battle Prawn Challenge, which is a cooking competition hosted by Sid Squid of the Trusty Leak.
Oh, well, I have to get involved in that.
Yes,
Yeah,
and in
that's
fact,
your deal.
what the Barkers are telling you all about with that one is that it is a challenge to make. Everyone knows about our award-winning squid cakes, and this is an opportunity for you to try our special recipe and make a giant version of the squid cake as fast as possible. Can you beat the record time?
Yeah.
And then there is also a hide and seek challenge hosted by Madame Culp's Silk, where you are. It's the details are less clear. They haven't got that one completely set up yet.
Hmm.
So yes, I'm interested in both the Spicy Brothers challenge and the cooking challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, well, the Spicy Brothers Challenge, they say, come back quick, because we're going to have a couple of different rounds over the course of the evening. But if you all want to compete together, it'd be best to come in early.
so what do you want to do? You want to do this, then go talk to the Zangoons, and then come back for the cooking?
Yeah, I think we break it up that way,
Okay, okay.
And we
So
might
we will sign
And
up
then-
for the.
and then figure out where the hide and seek fits in.
We last
Enoch
time
is interested in the hide and seek one.
Well, that one's not happening till later, but
I know.
Yeah.
okay. So, as you are, you sign up, and it turns out that because you're picking one of the earlier sessions, and you happen to be right there, he's able to get all of you together in like one. So it's going to be basically just you five competing against each other. You don't have to worry about strangers or ringers or anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Better to lose against people you know.
Yeah. Well, so and they do establish too that this is something where it's not like there's any guaranteed winner, because it's basically like you win if you manage to survive through 3 rounds.
Boy,
So eventually, you're led to a little waiting area, and then when it's time, after a short wait, a crowd applauds as from nearby bleachers as you are led into the broad open space of the event tent. Before you is a square table bearing a massive basket of colorful peppers and several pitchers of milk.
the milk's gonna be useful.
And so the person with the so welcome challengers to the Arun Family Pepper Challenge, shouts a bombastic announcer standing near the table and wearing a red pepper themed costume. I'm your host, Vi Arun. Is everybody ready to greet the heat? And
Yes.
so, and everyone cheers. So one note too is that this guy looks very much like the man that you met earlier this evening, who seemed to suggest that you should not get involved. This would apparently be his brother. You met Kasem Arun. This was Vi Arun running the game here. All right. So, as you each sit across from each other at this square table, there is a big basket of peppers in the center of the table, and they explain that we here at Spicy Brothers are pepper experts and can tell perfectly, just with a look, how spicy any given pepper will be. But I'm willing to bet that our contestants are not quite so skilled. These peppers all look very similar, but they have many different characteristics to them. And so the challenge is simple. We'll go around the table, and each of you will select a pepper from the basket and eat it. If you can stand the heat and refrain from grabbing the milk or otherwise abandoning the contest, then we will begin round 2. If you can succeed all through 3 challenges, then you are a winner tonight at the games. So, shall we begin?
Yes, let's.
All right.
Let's.
It
So,
would probably be reasonable to assume that the
Oh,
trick
boy.
with prestidigitation would not be allowed.
for one, I'll just say that none of you have to compete. I'm assuming that
I
all
know.
5 of you are choosing to, but
Yes.
there's no rule
Yep.
that says you have to. So it's like it's just a matter of like, right, just making sure you're all opting
Yeah.
in on purpose, not just by default. So I think the question about magic with this one is they do make it clear. Neither violence nor magic are permitted, or should be required for that matter, during this event.
Does
all
bardic inspiration count as magic? The bard asked.
I think it does. I mean, it's
Yeah.
bard magic.
And besides, I can't help myself anyway. I don't want to be able to help somebody else, so it wouldn't work well here.
So, the way this works is that we're just going to go down the line. There's no point in an initiative here because it's just taking turns. We'll go, in order as we've got you on the screen here. Xenophon, Exel, Flounce, Dianoc, and is it Dianoc or Dianoc? I keep alternating.
Dianoc.
Dianoc, and then Canthen. And so what each of you is going to do is roll a d10 and then roll a Constitution saving throw as you eat the pepper. And I will tell you the basic result, and you can describe the flavor of it.
Okay.
Okay, so Xenophon, please roll a d10.
D10 is a 4.
Okay, so go ahead and make your saving throw.
Constitution saving throw?
Yeah. And so, as each of you have your turn, you can go ahead and do both. Do both rolls. There's no need to wait. So
Xenophon rolls a 5.
yeah, so that's not great. This pepper is, I mean, it's spicy, and so here's the way this works: is that on a failed saving throw that you don't fail by 10 or more, you are actually. You are feeling the effects, but you are not out of the game yet.
Okay.
But you will have disadvantage on your next Constitution saving throw.
So I didn't fail by 10 or more on this one.
No, but you are feeling the heat.
Okay, so
It's
yeah,
a
so
fairly
Xenophon
standard hot pepper. It doesn't seem to be special in any other way.
No, it tastes a little fruity, but Xenophon, as he said last session, is grown up on lentils and rice and bland things. So
Yeah.
Xenophon's not really suited to this competition, but he's turning red, but he eats it all and looks a little flustered, but he's not reached for the milk or get up.
Our Get the Rye contestant seems to have been greeting the heat, but sweating the situation a little bit. Now let's investigate our next contestant. Exel, would you like me to roll for you?
Oh, I am stationary. I've got you.
Aha, excellent. So
So
go ahead and roll a d10 and your Constitution saving throw.
All right. On the D10, that is an 8.
Okay.
And Constitution, I have nothing in that, so it's going to be raw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Whew, that is a 5.
Okay.
The 5
So,
club.
I'm afraid, Exel, this pepper is like, it's really hot, and you find yourself just immediately, you cannot continue. Describe to me what you do. Like, do you reflexively reach for the milk? Do you do something else? But you are out of the competition.
So you see X, at first so he grabs the pepper, and then you see him open his mouth, and it is strangely large for a herring gull, like almost as if he like a shark's mouth, like unhinging to eat this pepper. And then he swallows it, he chews it, swallows it, and then he pauses for a moment. And then you see him start to shake a little, and his fur starts to bristle out. And it's almost as if he's related to Flounce in some way, because he puffs up like if you shocked a cotton ball. and even his cheeks start to turn red, and it's an immediate gulping of the milk, like not just gulping, like he drinks the first one and then he starts reaching for another, and
Right.
it's just, once he's gulped down 1 or 2 pitchers of milk, it's just and his ears kind of melt down to the sides of his head, and he's just like, that was hot.
Yeah. So I think that there's you get the sense that the announcer was all ready to have a big sort of joke or something about like the first person to go out, but I think after that little display there's like, all right, and our next contestant.
Come on, Flounce. You
So-
can do it.
Yeah. All
I
right.
also got an 8.
All right. So go ahead and make your Constitution saving throw.
which is a 15.
Okay, with a 15 is not quite a save, but you're not out immediately. However, here's the thing about this particular pepper, and Axel is discovering this to his own dismay. This one comes in waves. I think Axel, as you had soothed the pain with this with the milk, but oh no, it's coming around again. And as you are dealing with that, you are feeling the second wave yourself, Flounce. And so now you must make a second Constitution saving throw for this one. This time with disadvantage because you didn't quite succeed on the previous one.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, that was not at disadvantage. At disadvantage, I got an 8.
Yeah, at disadvantage, it's an 8. So, okay. So
Yeah.
what I would say is you are not completely out, but it's so bad. It's so bad. So describe how you're doing. Like you are refraining from going completely out at this point, but you...
Yeah, but I think, you know, how Exel fluffed up. Flounce does the exact opposite. She is just sweating buckets, and her fur is just sticking to her.
Yes, hello at
And
this
she-
knee
she-
drowned rat.
She scowls at the announcer guy, and it's like, she looks at the announcer guy. She looks at the glaive. She looks at the announcer guy. She looks back at the peppers.
Oh boy.
Oh, well,
chop.
we've got one little bunny who is, sweating the small stuff, it seems like.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So how
You're gonna
about
regret
our
that.
next contestant?
Deanna hesitantly reaches for one.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to the one next to it. Rolls a 9.
Okay. A 9. All right. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and make your saving throw.
5.
5?
Mhm.
So this one is pretty bad to the point where not only are you out, but you cannot even keep it in your mouth. And as you can't help but spit it out, there is a burst of like a cloud of spice and even just a little bit of a hint that looks like flame. Just
So,
yeah, and so you are out, and in fact, it is poor Canthan. The cloud of spice in the air is going to give you disadvantage on your saving throw.
Oh.
oh, sorry.
Alive.
So,
Alright. Well-
what happens? Like Deanna, second guesses himself and
Mm-hmm.
eats one. It's like, and actually, and like accident, just tries to turn away from everyone, but doesn't quite make it past Canthan before,
Yeah.
He is a
And-
wizard.
and just grabs the milk and just kind of falls on the ground and just
Yeah. So when you do that, everybody in the bleachers cheers and starts going, flamethrower, flamethrower, flamethrower.
Axel just goes, and I thought mine was bad.
All right. So Kenten, you've got your eyes are watering just from the cloud of spice.
Just from the
that
cloud
got-
of spices,
yeah,
yes.
But, go ahead.
I would like to posit a few things.
Sure.
Canthan is a local and he knows a lot of these peppers already.
Yeah.
He's also a cook and knows a lot of these peppers already. He's got proficiency. in
Yeah. How about this? I will let you roll the d10 twice and choose the lower of the two.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think
so
that's
my first roll is a 10
okay.
Oh dear God.
and the second roll is a 7. So
Okay. So the you're
Assuming
actually
you
in luck
try to
here
pick
because you're looking through and you kind of like almost pick one up and then there's just a fleeting glimpse in your head of the page from one of the cookbooks that taught you how to identify skull face peppers. And you're like, okay, not
No.
that one. And then you grab another one and you're not sure about it, but as it happens, you are going to discover that this pepper is hot, but also extremely tasty, and you do not have disadvantage on
Oh.
this saving throw, even if you would normally have it, because it is tasty in addition to spicy.
Nice. All right. Well, unfortunately, my saving throw is a 10.
Is a which?
10.
10. Okay, so unfortunately, that's still not a save, which means your next one will still be at disadvantage,
Disadvantage.
but you're still in it.
I'm
And
still
so Viaroon is saying, all right, we've been through all our contestants just once. We have got 3 contestants still in the mix. It's time for round 2 of Greet the Heat. And then everyone cheers. So, Xenophon, you are once again rolling a d10, and this time I believe you are rolling with disadvantage due to your previous.
That is
failure.
correct. My D10 is a 1
Okay.
and disadvantage.
And in fact, as you eat that one, you discover it's a dud, not spicy at all. You don't even need to make the saving throw.
I ate the bell pepper.
You got the lucky one.
It's like,
Yep.
I'm still panting, and then I calm down. Like,
For a second there, I was just flashing, like if Xenophon wasn't so more in control, I just like imagine just like crying a little bit. It's like, oh, thank you.
yes, kids are right, don't cry. Awful.
All right.
It's the right, don't cry.
All
Yes,
right.
the new movie.
Well, it looks like either our Gitzerai contestant caught a dud, or he is just very good at controlling his reactions, which I don't think it's the latter because of his performance in the first round. But let's see how our newly skinny little Harangon contestant is going to do this round. So, Flounce, draw a pepper.
All right.
Okay, with a 4.
So 4.
Standard spicy pepper, but I
Standard
believe you are also rolling with disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. So first roll,
Okay.
and second roll.
Okay.
So dirty 20.
two good rolls there. Yeah, this one is spicy, but compared to the previous one you had, whew, easy going compared to that last one. You're good. You succeeded on that one. Okay.
She leans into Exel just in relief.
All right. So we've got
I'm
our
gonna say that Dinok is still actually on the ground, just like.
Oh.
And
So
Exo looks down and says, "The anticipation is almost as bad as the pepper."
all right. Now we've got a local boy here. Let's see if he's is local to the region, but not to the night market. So let's see how he does. Hope you don't embarrass us, can't then? Draw a pepper.
Okay, here's my first roll. And that's the 7 again. It's like, oh, I don't know about that.
Well, the
What about
7
that?
was
What about
what you got the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this time I got a 1, so I got a dud.
Okay. Well, certainly if you pick that one, you do just fine. You don't need to
Yes.
make the saving throw at all. Okay.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. It's like, I think maybe somebody knows his peppers. Well, no eliminations this round, but now we are time for round 3, the big finish. Who will survive the third round of Greet the Heat? All right,
All right.
Xenophon.
All right. Rolling for a pepper.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5.
Okay. Now
Now
make
I'm
your
rolling
save-
this straight up, not with disadvantage.
Correct.
All right. The Gitzerai steals himself,
Mm-hmm.
bites into the pepper, and
All
gets a
right.
21.
Yeah, so this one is spicy, but you feel like you are gaining control over your body's reaction to this experience.
Finally making the monastery proud.
And as everyone's watching in awe, and you swallow it, just steel yourself, and everyone's like, yay! Cheers, cheers. And so now it's Flounce, your turn.
Okay. 4.
Okay, and you
Again.
succeeded last time, so no disadvantage.
All right. Constitution saving throw. It's a 12.
Okay, however, for this one, for this spiciness of pepper, that is enough. And so
Okay.
you also, it's spicy, but you got it under control now. I think it's like, that first one was so spicy that it just you feel like you're eating potato now.
It killed all my taste buds.
Yeah. Okay, you get a round of cheers too.
Yeah.
And-
She weakly holds up a paw.
And so now, last but not least,
Local boy.
All right, here we go. The first D10 is a 9.
hmm
That one seems suspicious. Second
Yeah.
one's a 5.
hmm
So, oh, but my Constitution save's only 11.
However, but for the common pepper, which is what 5 is, there is no special effects, and it is just a DC 10. So
All right.
you succeed. All right, there's cheers. Everyone has 3 winners, and I'm sure all 5 of you will be grateful to know that winners and losers alike get big bowls of creamy yogurt, and they bring out the bowls of yogurt for everyone to eat. However, our 3 winners are going to have their pictures and names posted on the board outside our tent for the entire evening. So if you see them in the street, make sure you congratulate them because they all withstood the test of great the heat. Yay! And everyone cheers, and you get people coming up and like patting you on the back, those of you who won and everything. And so the mechanic in place here is those of you who won have now 1 renown
Okay.
with Dinsing Night Markets vendors. And so you can get up to 1 renown for each of the market games. And depending on how much you have, the vendors might be more or less willing to share additional information.
Right.
Useful.
All right. Well done, everyone. You played the first of the 3 market games. And so I think as you are coming on out of the tent, where are you heading next?
I think
Uh,
we're heading to the.
Over to the Zungoon family of seafood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I think that as you get there, I think what you see is Gammon and Kusa Zungoon, these 2 kobolds, the young male kobold and the middle-aged lady kobold. You see them actually a little bit back away from the counter, and they seem to be discussing something like with concern. Do you just head on up, or do you like call out and approach more discreetly, or do you just kind of like burst in, or how are you approaching?
I think Theonarch will just walk up.
Okay. Yeah, so you realize they look at you a little bit startled, and they they tell you is like, thank goodness you're here. They're at it again. They're trying to frame us, and they're holding up a big wok, the WOK, cooking dish, and Gammon is holding it up and saying, look. This is a Tianmo noodles wok, but we didn't take it. Somebody planted it here. We didn't. We're telling you because we didn't do it. They planted it here, and they were probably trying to set us up to find it here so that they could say we stole it, but we didn't. Someone put it here. In fact, they planted it. I'm sure they're trying to set us up.
Wait a minute.
Do I believe
Wait a
them?
minute. Let's say that this feud between you and Tianmo Noodles gets worse and you guys start sabotaging each other. Um, how would the other food vendors in the night market, such as Spicy Brothers, fare if you guys are constantly sabotaging each other?
Well, a couple of things. One is that Dianok wanted to make an insight check, which you may go ahead and do.
Right.
Natural one.
Okay. Well, I think as far as you can tell, like they seem very upset. So I don't know. What does that mean? Are they upset because they are genuinely worried that they're being set up, or are they upset because they're worried that you just caught them with stolen property? But I think Kusa hears you ask that, and she just says, "I don't know, because the truth is that the feud between our families was so destructive for so long. It was a nightmare. We've only just made peace, and it's been going well so for years. I don't know why they would restart this like this. It's disruptive to both of our operations."
Wait, Ixel speaks up. His mouth seems slightly swollen, but he's like, so would someone want you to fight? Is there another vendor or someone who may want to get both of your businesses?
Well, I mean, I think I could imagine that theoretically being possible, but I don't know anything about that being specifically true, as opposed to a vague hypothetical theory.
Where was this walk found and when? Where in your booth?
Gammon goes and he points like near the back of the tent. He says he found it on the ground back there. And I think as you take a look at it and you're inspecting the walk, one of the things, well, go ahead and make an investigation check, whoever's checking the walk.
I think that would be Xenophon, because he's curious about the investigation check.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, so I think that you realize that the location that he says it was found does look like it would be a location designed to maybe not get found right away. Like, like it's a little bit out of the way, but it's also hard to imagine someone being able to get it back there without being seen. That seems like it's, but the other thing that you notice that seems a little bit weird is the wooden handle looks like it's been chewed on a little bit by tiny, tiny little teeth.
How interesting. I think maybe my wood elf friend might be interested in that and might be able to look towards what sort of teeth that sort might chew on. So I'm going to bring this over to my friend, the wood elf wizard. What do you make of this? And I'll point out the little chew marks.
Okay. Wait. What would I need to roll for that?
I think unfortunately here the result, the clue you got already is that I think the truth is it looks like whatever it was that chewed on it was smaller than even a small humanoid. Must have been a tiny creature or something with very small teeth.
Okay.
But like, who knows what that, it could be whatever, like, who knows what that, it could be any number of different things, but you would suggest wouldn't be like a humanoid, certainly not a kobold or a gnome or it's something smaller than that.
Yep.
At least by the size of the teeth.
More clues. I mean, given what we've seen of these vendors, I don't think they would have left this in this condition at Tanimamudos. So I'm assuming the transporter of the same was the one who caused the damage to the wood.
Madam Sangoon.
I think actually I'm going to go ahead and give you this for the same check instead of making it a separate one. Xenophon, what you also find when you're down there looking at the place where it was put is, like kind of crunched into the ground a little bit there you find a persimmon peel.
Aha! I will take that and I will show that to Dianak. More persimmons.
Gonna take it and compare it to the ones I already have.
Mhm.
I mean, it's persimmon peels. They,
Persimmons are persimmons, but something. Where does one get persimmons? Not here.
Kusa is just like, persimmons aren't very common around here. I would imagine you'd probably have to special order them. You could get them on a shipment from the Radiant Citadel, I'm sure.
Madam Diana, Madam Zangoon, do you know of any very small creatures that might want to steal things or vandalize or chew on things?
She is looking at you is like, I'm sure I don't know. But what I do know is that I have a suspect that seems like they would have a motive to pick on us due to the various animosity that we've had over the years and all of that sort of thing. As far as why there are tooth marks over their walk, I'm sure it's because they run a disreputable operation over there. Who knows what they let chew on their cookery?
So you don't use any persimmons in your recipes?
No,
Okay.
we
Do
don't.
you know
You
of
can see what we
anybody who
have here.
would?
I don't know that you could even buy persimmons at the day market. I've never seen them at the market here before.
Are they from another world that's connected to the Citadel?
No, I mean
picked
they
up a
grow
few at
elsewhere in the
at
world. It's just that they don't grow around here. So if you want them fresh and not and in season, it's going to be hard to get them around here.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm like I said, I'm sure you are all aware of the Concord gem that goes to the Radiant Citadel. They get fancy produce from there all the time.
All right.
But it doesn't grow around here, and they don't sell it here.
Okay. I'm going to go over to the Spicy Brothers cart and
Okay.
just kind of, I'm going to buy something to eat and hang around and watch.
I think that as you get there, Kasem is currently running it, but Vi has stopped by, and as he sees you all approach, he just says, "Hey, everyone, give it up for the winner of our Greet the Heat competition that we just had. If you want to compete too," and he's got his whole spiel. And Kasem, his brother, is looking a little bit annoyed behind the counter, but he's still serving food. But yeah, so are you? What?
I am going to order something cheap, and nurse it and watch and see if either of them seem to be a fan of persimmons.
Okay. So you're just observing?
Yeah.
Okay. You go ahead and make I guess an investigation check.
Investigation? All right.
Yeah.
Not terribly good at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, perception, I
17.
get. Yeah. Well, 17 is pretty good. So I think what you certainly are able to tell, looking over their menu, is they don't serve anything with persimmon in it.
No, well, I'm not expecting that.
Yeah. You don't see any persimmons?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you don't see any persimmons. You don't see any sign of there being persimmons anywhere in the proximity. Like I
Okay.
That's all I think you're able to.
I'm
tell.
I'm spending my time watching until the cooking event, and then I'm going to go ahead.
Sure.
and for that.
I
Somebody else can do things.
Diana would like to go over to Wada's Otherworldly Goods.
Okay.
And see if maybe they might know something about persimmons.
Okay.
Well, that's a good idea.
We'll get to that in just a moment. I think while you're hanging out at the Spicy Brothers, Canthan, Vi does come over and he just says, so I just can't help but notice, if you seem like you are from around here, your stuff. How come I haven't seen you around the night market before? Canthan?
I'm sorry, I zoned out.
Okay, that's all right. So yes, while you're hanging out there,
Yeah.
Vi Arun has come over and said, you seem like you're from around here. You know your peppers and stuff. How come I haven't seen you around here before?
Well, I work over at the Silver Moon Inn, and I haven't had a lot of time off recently, so I
Ah,
don't get around to market as often as I'd like. I
well,
love it here; it's great, but I only get time off once in a while.
oh boy, I'm gonna miss it. I'll tell you that.
You're gonna miss it.
Oh, I'm getting married.
Oh wow!
Well, and my betrothed, she lives, you know, far away in a place which is also lovely, but of course it means that I'll be leaving this lovely night market behind.
I see. Well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm really excited.
I'll bet. So your brother's going to take over the whole operation when you leave?
That's the plan. Although, I'll confess, I don't think he's terribly happy that I'm leaving. But it's that's family business.
Okay. Okay. Well, good luck to him as well, because you know, losing important member of your group is a challenge. But yeah, well, thank you for sponsoring that contest. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I have to say, I know there's two more games tonight, but like my own personal preference is, I think ours is the best. But that is, I guess, up to everybody's spice threshold. Anyway, so enjoy the market. All right.
I will.
So Dianok goes over to Veda's otherworldly goods. Is anyone else going there?
Flounce will go.
Okay,
Xenophon will go.
sure.
What about Ixel? What's Ixel up to?
Exel actually wants to keep an eye out on the backside of their cart tent storage area.
Okay, wait.
Seeing as
Who? Which place?
the one we just found the
The Zungoon
Zungoon?
family seafood.
Manzungun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
yes, because it seems like we left one and it got sabotaged. So I feel like if we leave another one, it might happen again.
Sure, sure. All right, you are set up to stake out Zungoon family seafood. And meanwhile, Xenophon, Flounce, and Dianok are going over to Veda's otherworldly goods. You head on over there. They certainly remember that your group bought a vanilla bun earlier, and so there's a friendly service industry smiles for all of you. But then they just see Flounce and Xenophon and just say, "Oh, you were two of the people who just won the Spicy Brothers contest, weren't you?"
We were, thank you.
Oh,
By a
well,
hair.
congratulations. And then I don't know if you're with them. I don't know if you maybe just didn't turning to Dianok. I don't know if you just didn't better luck next time maybe.
Not my strong suit.
He had bad luck with the first pepper he got.
Oh, well, I'll admit that the spicy things are not my thing. I've got more of a sweet tooth, as you might have guessed, gesturing to all
Yes.
of the array of pastries and such.
Do you?
Yeah.
How about persimmons?
Persimmons.
Yes.
I'm afraid I don't think we have any persimmon, in stock. That's a little of a hard find around here. We've got lots of, we got some, blueberry and we got some raspberry tarts over here, and we've got some apple pie over here, and just going through some of the fruits they have. But I'm sorry we don't have any persimmons.
Do you know anybody in the market who sells persimmon goods? I know persimmons aren't local to this world, but
Well, not off the top of my head. I mean, I could ask around, I suppose, but I don't know anything right off the bat.
okay.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
they would have to be
take out-
imported, but
You just especially a fan of persimmons? I mean, maybe I should start keeping them in stock.
Well, it's mostly I've actually found some peels of persimmons around, and I'll take out one and show her.
Okay.
It's it's unusual.
Oh, yeah,
And nobody seems to know where they came from.
well, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Flounce, however, also does have a very big sweet tooth. And so she's looking at the raspberry tarts, kind of drooling a little, because she needs something to clear out the yogurt and the spiciness out of her mouth.
Sure, sure.
Which is entirely her reason for being here. And so she points to the raspberry berry tart that is without being super fluffy. It looks like it's about as big as her head.
Hmm.
Are you sure you can eat all of that, Franz?
Yeah.
I will make a really good try.
All right. Well, so you got a big one. So they sell one silver piece pastries, but it sounds like you got a big one. So let's call that
Yeah.
three silver pieces.
Okay. Yes. Thank
She
you,
said-
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh
thank
well,
you.
no problem. I just are y'all thinking about doing the rest of the market games too?
Yes.
Oh, I am planning on doing the hide and seek one. If though I'm not entirely sure what that one is.
Oh well, I know Madam Culp has got that tent all done up somehow. You know what? I'll bet you it has something to do with her little caterpillar friends.
Caterpillar friends, Madam Culp.
Mhm.
Not familiar what she sells here in the market.
Oh,
or
she
who
sells
I'm-
the silk market. It's fancy stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Ma-
yes, we passed by the
Yeah,
clothing
Madam
store.
Culp's
Yes,
silk. Yeah.
yes, we passed by the
Mhm.
clothing store. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She does have some very beautiful clothes.
Very expensive clothes, no doubt.
It's just something to save up for.
Sure.
All right, Xenophon will buy a silver piece costing confectionery of some kind because
Sure.
he did go through a lot and deserves
Mhm.
something out of
Yeah.
it. Deserves something
Yes.
nice.
Yeah. Same with Dana, because
Yeah.
why not?
So I think you hear, someone has got the, shoot, what's the cantrip that makes your voice loud? The
Dramaturgy?
thaumaturgy. Someone's got their thaumaturgy voice on over at the event grounds, and they announced that the battle prawn competition will be starting shortly. If you would like to sign up.
I think that's our cue.
Thank you very much. It
Oh,
was
no,
delicious.
no problem. Feel free to come back and buy more if you like. You know what? I'll tell you. You come back after winning 3 games, I'll give you a discount.
Okay.
We'll hold you to that.
All right. So, Axel, I think go ahead and make a perception check as you've been, watching the Zungoon family seafood.
That is a 17.
Okay. So I think with the 17, you have been watching. They're doing fairly brisk business. That got backed up a little bit when they were dealing with the walk. But they otherwise seem pretty busy and have a pretty solid operation. But they look kind of stressed. Otherwise, but you don't see anything suspicious in the time that you're hanging out watching there. But here's the question. It's getting to be time for the next game to begin. Are you going to go join the others for that, or are you going to stay where you are?
I will stay because I'm not a good cook.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stay and I'll scope it out. How far apart are the two locations? They're on opposite sides of one another, like on the map,
Yeah.
correct?
Right. Zungoon Family Seafood, if you were go to straight between the two, it looks like it's about 450 feet between the two of them.
Yeah, so I can and just keep an eye on the tent to see if they try to stash or steal anything else.
Okay. So it sounds like it's 4 of you then going to join up at the next Battle Prawn Challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, so as you sign up, I think what must happen here is, like, just to minorly retcon, is that you had previously signed up, and what was being announced is your run.
Our slot.
Our slot. Yeah. So, you are greeted by some of Sid the Squid. Sid Squid's is who runs the Trusty Leak. sponsors this. He's got a bunch of assistants there that are all in yellow aprons. And they are preparing you as you are getting ready to go into the tent. They're explaining the game to you, and you all have to wear yellow aprons of your own. And they say, because there's 4 of you, you won't need any of them to like sub in. 4 is enough for a full team.
Okay.
And so what they tell you is that the goal here is we're making one of our award-winning shrimp prawn shrimp cakes, but the challenge is we're making a great big one. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to chop up a bunch of green tree beans, and you're going to need to get us a prawn to make the cake. And if you can do all of that in record time, then you're a winner. So as you are then donning all the yellow aprons, excited onlookers crowd the bleachers within this vast open tent. One half of the space is crowded with cooking tools, a pair of oversized woks, and 2 long cutting stations containing bundles of foot-long green beans. The other side holds a pool-sized tank filled with water. The water churns as large shadowy shapes move within. And I'll take us and put us on that map.
I am so not suited for this event.
Oh boy.
And so I had gone ahead and put the Excel's token on here, but I'll go ahead and put it on there just so.
Put him in the stands. He's fairly.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the other tokens up here are Sid and his assistants, but the bleachers are filled with people. It's just there's not tokens for all of them. So basically, here's what we're going to do, and this is Sid talking, and he's saying, if I can have our contestants please take positions at the preparation tables, which is so the 4 of you are working together here, but what we're going to need is for you to make a sufficiently large pile of the green beans, which means you're going to have to chop them up. And make enough for our great big shrimp cake. And then you're going to need to prepare the prawn. And once again, the water sloshes, and you look and you realize these prawns are real big. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and share a handout with you if I can find the right one. There we go. I'm sharing with you the Market Games handout.
Oh my Lord in heaven.
Yes. These are real big prawns. And so,
Okay.
I've seen smaller dragons in Asgard.
yeah. So we are going to roll initiative.
Okay.
Is this
This is
a
going to need
challenge
the big axe.
where magic can be used?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, good.
Yes. So here's how it's going to work. Where everyone rolls initiative, and basically you are going to need to chop up the beans and have those the bean preparation. There's a lot of the unchopped beans, and you're going to need to get through the full amount of beans through. There are provided chef knives, but you can otherwise use any other task you want, with the understanding that this is going to be something that needs to be edible at the end. And then you are also going to need to, kill a shrimp.
Okay.
And once you do that, the assistants will fish it out of the tank and drag it over to do the rest of the preparation, because that's a special technique. Mm-hmm. But so if you can all do all of that within the record time, you'll be the winners.
Okay.
So let me get the.
And can I, as I see the size of the prawns, take out my wand, just kind of draw a sigil over.
Well, I think as you're starting to do that, the Sid will kind of say, "Magic is permitted during the competition, but I'm afraid I must ask everyone to refrain from taking any actions before we start the timer. Otherwise, it's not fair." All right. Let me just. I have to pull up the stats here, which is just a moment. It's taking a long time to pull this up. But yes, so very soon we've got. Okay.
Kill a prawn. I think that's Flounce. I think your point on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is going to be a 12 for the prawns. Koi prawns is what these are called. Okay, so as you are all standing by the stations, Sid is calling out. It's like, "All right, our chef's ready."
Yes.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1, start. Xenophon, you are up first.
Right. So Xenophon takes a deep breath, turns to Flounce, and says, "Hear me and listen now here, Flounce. Flounce, be inspired to do great deeds," and gives Flounce inspiration as a bonus action.
Okay.
And then Xenophon will move to here and will take a swing at the prawn.
So if you are trying to do it from the side of the tank, it will have half cover. If
I
you
have
want
to get into the tank. Oh, I have to get into the tank. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Unless if you want to try to get into the tank, obviously you will be more at risk from the prawns, but they won't have half cover from you. Because I
Half
mean,
cover,
think about it. Like
half cover is +2 AC.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to take a shot from here.
Okay. How are you attacking?
I'm pulling out a longsword and taking a whack, trying to whack over the top of the tank at the prawn.
Okay.
The Githzerai may not be a good fighter, be able to give it a shot.
All right.
That is
Okay.
19.
Nice.
That is going to hit. You're going to hit this prawn. How much damage do you do?
5
Okay.
points of damage.
All right. You slice into that prawn, and it is not slain, but it is hurt. So you get the impression that these prawns that were just kind of swimming around, minding their own business, are maybe now aware that there's a threat in play.
Indeed.
Yes. Dianok, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna use action to finish drawing the rune that was started doing,
Mm-hmm.
and cast mage armor on myself.
Okay.
And and I'm gonna just stay where I'm at and just kind of whip wand and cast acid splash at that one, the one that Xenophon was at.
Is mage armor a bonus action?
Oh wait, oh shoot, I can't do acid splash. Never mind.
That's all right.
So I guess I'll just grab a knife and be ready to use it.
All right. That was Dianok. It is now the koi prawns. So I think that the 3 of them are sort of just churning around angrily in the water, but the one that you try to attack, Xenophon, is going to try to ram you, to like butt you away from the, and so it's going to get a 16 to hit.
That will hit Xenophon.
Okay. What is your AC?
12.
Okay, yeah. So I was just going to say, technically, you should have half cover from it as well, but that would still do it. So that's going to be 5 bludgeoning damage.
Ow!
As as before you can sort of step back away, it just sort of lurches its big sort of shrimp front legs out at you and just boom, like smacks you in the face. And then I think as Sid is maintaining the commentary, he says, "Don't worry, folks. We do have trained healers on staff. Nobody is at risk of death here, but they might be in risk of bruises."
Xenophon is not going to comment.
Yeah. All right, Canthan, it is your turn.
All right. How do I assess my chances of grabbing hold of one of those things and hauling it out of the tank?
Alive?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I want to grapple it and pull it out.
They
Is
are
that-
large sized, so
Okay.
I think generally speaking,
That would be really tough.
I think the rule is that if it's 2 sizes bigger, then you can't grapple it. But let me just double check to see what the rule is if it's 1 size bigger. Might take me a moment to look that rule up, but I will happily do so. Okay, let's see. Grapple. Okay. Because these things are certainly would be struggling, so you could make a grapple check, but then trying to drag it, I think you'd be trying to pull something that's bigger than you out of essentially an above ground swimming pool.
Okay.
Which
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and just rule, instead of looking up a complicated rule, I'm going to say that seems really hard.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I am going to pull out my halberd and say, this is going to take the big cleaver
Okay.
and take a whack at it from back here.
Okay.
Um,
So it will have the half cover from there, but no problem. Yeah, and
I've got a
a
19.
19 is definitely going to do it. So go ahead and roll your damage.
6 slashing damage.
Okay, takes another 6 damage, and it is making angry hissing noises and waggling its gigantic weird shrimp antenna at you. It is not down yet, but it's clearly injured. You don't think it could take another hit like that. It is bloodied for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that's my action.
Okay, Flounce, it is your turn.
Torn between trying to restrain this thing to keep it from hurting my friends and just killing it to keep it from hurting my friends.
Or you could cut
Killing
green
it
beans.
will prevent it from hurting your friends.
Or I could just start cutting green beans.
Mhm.
Or whatever it is we're supposed to be cutting up.
Well, we're supposed to be cutting green beans, but we
Yeah.
kind of got wrapped up in the prawn battle.
Yeah. Prawn battle. Sorry, Subnautica reference.
It'll kill it.
Flounce is a small bun, and this is a great big shrimp.
Uh-huh.
I have faith in you in killing the shrimp. I gave you inspiration in
Yeah.
that expectation that you can kill the shrimp.
Okay, Flounce will hop over
Mm-hmm.
and stabbing the shrimpin'.
I know you have some special jump thing for as a Harengon, right?
Right, but she's just doing the regular move.
Well, I'm just saying though that
Yeah.
if you want to use that thing, I would maybe let you avoid the half cover.
Yeah, it's as a bonus action, you can jump 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. You can only use this trait if your speed is greater than 0.
Okay, yeah. So
Use it
I
2
will
times.
say, even though it's not strictly what that move technically says, I'll say that if you go ahead and use use of that, you can avoid the half cover here because you basically just hop up high enough to
Okay,
slam at it over the pool wall.
okay. Then in that case, I will take my longsword in 2 hands and see if I can whack at this thing.
Okay.
And I cannot whack at this thing because it's a 7.
Oh no! Yeah, I think unfortunately it has
If
just
I-
sort of squirmed away, and you managed to just kind of your sword sort of grazes off some of its crazy, weird, giant legs.
Okay, and inspiration adds a what? To...
Oh, it's probably a D6 at level 1.
Yeah, it's a D6, but you have to announce it before you start.
Well,
your
yeah,
attack.
I would allow you to do it this time because we're still learning the characters.
Okay.
But I
Yeah,
don't think a
probably wouldn't
D6
get me.
could, like, if you rolled a 6, you could do it.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
hold
save
on
it.
to it.
I'll save
Yeah.
it. I'll save it.
All right.
So I've used bonus action, used my move. Okay.
Okay. So we are 6 seconds in on our time because that's how time works in this sort of fast-paced situation. But now let's see about the next 6 seconds. Our record time, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, is 36 seconds.
Oh boy.
So, Xenophon, it is time for round 2.
Right. I'm hurt. So another shot like that will take me down. So I'm going to use a disengage
Disengage.
action.
Go back and cut green beans.
Yeah. And disengage action and then move back to here.
Okay.
And so that is Xenophon. That is Xenophon's move.
Sure. Okay. So, Dianok, your turn.
Okay. So,
Come on, wizard.
um,
Some of my best friends are wizards. That was
make a, I need that prawn to make a dex save.
Okay. It is going to get a 4.
And it takes 3 acid damage.
Okay. I think it is not quite down. It seems like it's burning really bad, but I think Sid is going to. I'm going to need to have one of my assistants here take a check to see if that acid has damaged the shrimp. We do need to eat this afterwards.
Oh.
So I think that's going to happen at the end of this round. So maybe we'll see. You'll see. So in any case, I think that is your turn. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay. It is the prawn's turn. I think this one that's pretty wounded is going to try to take a swing at Flounce.
Dodge, bunny, dodge.
It gets a 9, which is probably not going to do it. You are a small bun once again, almost entirely behind the wall of the tank. However, this one is going to climb out of the tank.
Oh.
And it's going to make its own attack. Yeah,
Maybe
but
we're not
it
talking green bean
misses.
jet.
Okay.
It misses, but yeah, that one has climbed out. The other two seem like they're still sort of churning around, kind of angrily but aimlessly.
Okay, well, at least we've got a second option.
Yeah. All right, Canthan, it's your turn.
I am going to step up and hit it with my big cleaver.
Which one? The
The one that climbed out. You know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to get fancy. Yeah, I'm going to hit the one that climbed out.
So that one is at full strength and not the one that's been significantly injured.
I understand. I'm
Sure.
trying to keep
Yeah,
it from...
I just wanted to make sure it's clear which choice you're making. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, a 20 is going to
Dirty 20.
do it. Dirty 20 will certainly hit.
And there it is. 7 damage.
All right. You do 7 damage to that one, and it looks like it didn't enjoy that experience at all. It is wounded. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Flounce.
Okay, so Flounce is going to flick one of her earrings and cast Chromatic Orb
Okay.
for
You could do
ice
that?
damage. Yeah, she's a rune carver.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So she's going to flick her earring and cast chromatic orb for ice damage at the prawn.
Okay. Which one?
The one that's on the one that's out of the
Okay.
tank.
All right. Go
Although
ahead.
it does
Roll
yeah.
to attack.
Okay, so let's see if this will hit. Let's see if this will hit.
Yeah.
No, not cold damage. Roll. Oh no, that's a 5.
Yeah. I think there is. I think there is a gasp where your chromatic orb strikes the wall of the tank, and all of a sudden there's sort of like the frost covers that part of the tank, and there's kind of an ominous groaning sound.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Okay. That is the end of round 2. I think one of the assistants is going to come over and do a quick look, and then they're going to turn and give a thumbs up to Sid, and says, in a lucky break for our contestants, it looks like that acid was not enough to eat through and ruin the meat, so we are still good for that prawn, assuming that our contestants survive.
Wow.
Okay, so we're back into round 3. Xenophon.
All right.
18
Xenophons.
seconds.
Because Xenophon's not going to chop green beans after all. Because there's 2 prawns here. So he will turn to the prawn that's out of the tank, point at it, and declaim. I had it written down. Hear my words, biting and true. You shrimp are but food. And you'll vicious mockery it.
Nice.
So, Wisdom 13 saving throw
Okay.
for the prawn.
Let's figure that out. Okay. It got a natural 1, and so technically that means it's got a 2. So that's going to fail.
So it takes 1d4 points of psychic damage. So it takes 3 points of psychic damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay. Yeah, so it kind of shivers and huddles and crouches a little bit with weird alien thoughts going through its tiny, large but tiny proportionally brain. All right. Anything else for your turn?
Yes, I might as well spend them while I got him. I will inspire Kanthan.
Okay.
So, in the same vein as I did the last time, hear me and listen now, Kanthan. Kanthan, be inspired to do great deeds. Yes, I wrote these all in advance. How can you tell?
Oh, hey, that's great. All right. Dianoc, your
Way to do
turn.
it.
Okay. See. If I go here, would that get a 15-foot cone? That will get both of these, but not.
Do
Uh,
you really want to bust open that tank?
Yeah,
This-
I will. Your cone will get that. You can do a cone that will get the 2 shrimp, but not flounce. But it
Okay.
certainly the side of the tank that was just frosted by flounce's.
This is not a damaging thing.
Okay.
This is a status effect.
All right.
Okay.
So, but yes, with the cone.
So there's a kind of flourish, spin and flourish of the wand, and so and cast color spray.
Okay. What? Remind me what that does.
Basically, it might blind. It could blind them for a round.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Make them, hopefully easier to hit.
What saving throw do they do?
Let me. I roll. Basically, I roll how many hit points it can affect.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
24 hit points.
Oh yeah, for sure. You see their weird black beady eyes on stalks suddenly start swirling with all sorts of weird colors as the display of the effect wears off. And do they get to make the saving throw again, or?
They're blinded for a round.
Okay, for a round. Okay, yeah, you have affected both of them.
You can. They might be easier to hit now for a little bit.
Okay.
And gonna back off.
All right. You are going to get a disadvantage opportunity attack.
Yep.
All right.
AC 15.
Yeah, it misses wildly and thumps the side of the tank where it's been weakened, and it.
Oh,
Oh no! Oh no!
All right.
that wasn't intentional.
You, you know, I was really hoping for that inspiration. You were going to get a can.
Oh, geez.
I will have to remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Writing
So
it down now.
yeah. So next it is the prawn's turn. I think we are going to have the one that just tried to attack Deanok get its actual turn. At disadvantage, it gets a 14. It's attacking Flounce now. 14
Nope.
misses. Okay, I think that's
8.
not low enough for it to hit the tank in this case. The other one is also trying to sort of vaguely attack in that direction.
Yeah. 'cause
It
she's-
gets just a 10. So I think they're flailing pretty wildly as they can't see now, and the other two prawns I think are scared at this point, and they're just sort of backing into the far corner.
Okay.
All right, Kanthan, you're up.
I'm going to whack the one that's out of the tank.
Okay. You have advantage on your attack because it is blinded.
Okay. Dirty,
30,
20
that'll hit.
for 8 slashing.
It is slain.
Yay!
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 All right.
All right.
Everybody back up and start chopping green beans. And I'm going to. Do these prawns have reach?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to go back to the table and stow my halberd.
All right. Great. Flounce, it is your turn.
I am. So the one in the tank is still alive.
But it is
Yeah,
also
well-
blinded.
Yeah, so I'm going to just go back,
Yeah.
pick up a.
It'll make a disadvantage opportunity attack.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Just tell me it wasn't a disadvantaged crit.
It rolled 2 natural 20s.
Oh my God!
A disadvantaged crit is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Dear Lord!
That's okay.
I'm taking a picture of it. Let's see if I can easily show this on
That's
camera.
we
Yeah,
believe you,
I
but that's
trust
just
you.
like
Jeez. Oh,
Roll enough dice, it'll happen
that.
eventually.
Yeah.
Jeez
So,
Louise.
yeah, I think in this context, then, it does hit you.
Yeah. That's one thing we didn't talk about was how crits were going to be handled in the game.
Well, yeah, I think because we didn't talk about it, it's going to be standard rules this time.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just for reference to anybody not familiar, when we played Rime of the Frost Maiden, we had a house rule for crits, but we're not doing that for now. We can talk about it, but house rules have to go in advance. That is going to be 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're okay. You're a fighter.
That's a good amount for a fighter.
Yeah.
For a level 1
Okay.
fighter.
So
I'm okay.
Yeah, so I think that there is just sort of like it just manages to get its weird little claw hands and just boom, and everyone just gasps at this poor little bunny that has just been walloped in a lucky
Yeah.
shot by this blinded prawn. And then what does Flance do?
Florence shoots her head up in there and says, "I'm okay." So she gets up and moves back
Mm-hmm.
to the table.
Yep. All right, and so Sid says,
Um,
and a
bonus action.
Okay.
I'm going to use second wind.
Okay, sure, yeah. And so Sid says, and with the completion of round 3, we are halfway to our record time, but the prawn has been secured. Sous chefs, please prepare the prawn. And the sous chefs start, dragging the prawn over to one of the woks to be cooked.
Okay.
So they're
Yeah.
doing that part. You don't need
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
So you're good. You've done that part, And now, as we begin round 4, it's time to chop some green beans. Yeah. So you all have big bundles of beans that have to be, you were shown how, just generally speaking, how they need to be chopped into little pieces. You do not have to use the chef knives. However, once again, the emphasis is they do need to be able to eat them afterwards. So the magic users, be aware.
So Bigby's hand is not a good choice.
Yes. So, yeah. So basically, let's see. I think, yeah. Okay. So you are each working on the same bundle and trying to basically, we're treating it like it has hit points, right? So it's got an AC to be effectively chopping, and then you got to reduce it to the right number of hit points to accumulate enough of your chopped beans to win. So round 4, Xenophon, chop some beans.
I will pull out my dagger and start chopping some beans.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll, because its dagger is it can be versatile. I think you can make that as a strength or a dex.
Or dex, yes, exactly.
But in any case, a 21 to hit certainly works. Go ahead and roll for damage. Okay.
So 4 points of bean damage.
Yes, you have chopped 4 points of beans.
Okay.
Xenophon's not a good fighter. So that's what. So doing my best here.
Yeah. So I think you don't necessarily all know they showed you a pile of beans, but you don't necessarily have a sense of how much you're just trying to do as many until they tell you that's enough. You can stop. Okay. So Dianok.
Okay. Gonna take out. I guess I have a short sword, so gonna take that out and just start chopping.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 18.
An 18 will hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
5.
Okay. You've now done 9 damage worth of beans.
What is the AC for a pile of green beans? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I guess you'll find out if you miss it.
I could probably miss it.
Oh, well, I mean, anyone theoretically could. So the prawn are, the one injured prawn is put out of its misery by one of the assistants, because it's going to also get made into shrimp cake. But you don't need that one. You've completed that portion. But in the meantime, Canthan, it's your turn to chop some beans.
Okay. I pull out my 2 personal favorite cutting axes, one in each hand, twirl them around, and start chopping beans. This is familiar ground.
Mm-hmm.
This is chopping stuff is practically like 4 hours out of my 8-hour day.
Mm.
14 on the first one.
Certainly that, yeah.
Okay, for 8 damage.
Okay. So let's see. Wait, you had 9? Yep, that's enough actually. That goes ahead, and you've got enough beans.
Okay.
So I think as you just demonstrate your expertise with preparing beans, everyone cheers, and one of the assistants is standing by and is like, "Yes, that's enough." And knives up, everyone! They've won! Yay! With a score of 24 seconds, our contestants have beat the record, and they are winners at tonight's game of Battle Prawn Challenge. Yay! Yay! So all 4 of you gain 1 renown. So if those of you who had 1 already now have 2.
Okay.
All right.
But if you are invited to stick around for a few minutes while they go ahead and finish making the actual shrimp cake. Which is so basically that you watch them chopping up the meat of the prawns, and then scooping in the green beans, and then feeding it all in with their specialized process, and making these great big shrimp cakes that then get sliced like a big cheese wheel And
Yeah.
it's pretty tasty, and everyone in the audience gets some too. And then there's like, and these are our award-winning shrimp cakes. And if you want to have more than just a sample, be sure to visit the the thin leek, the trusty leek. Excuse me. I know the name of my own store. It's called the Trusty Leek. Where dining is an adventure. All right, so congratulations. In the meantime, Axel, while you've been hanging out,
And
Indeed.
to say, the party has seen the extent of DNR's combat abilities.
sure. So I think, while you've been watching the back of the Zungoon tent, you have been watching, and you've been watching carefully, and you're just really not seeing any activity at all. However, you do start to hear some weird shouts of like confusion and alarm coming from across the way in the approximate distance and location of the Tianmo stand.
I will go and see what that noise is about, since I've not seen anyone at this
Okay.
stand.
Sure. And so this is during when everyone else is in the competition, so it's still just you. But so you run around, you go through those central event grounds to get back over to Tianmo Noodles, and you discover that there are persimmons all over the place, and there's like peels and juice on like Lanema, Tianmo, and then like splatted across the counter and like the top of their cart. Like someone has just thrown a bunch of persimmons at the cart, and they're trying to clean them up. They're like, "What is this?" And so there's just persimmons everywhere.
Hmm.
Hmm.
If these are so rare, who would just use these blades? Like he looks at them almost confusedly. Can he see if there is a trail, like maybe where they were thrown from, or if it was at distance?
Yeah, so you are make an investigation check.
I'm not good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is an 18.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think you look at like the angles of them, the places where one hit and then bounced a little bit, like what direction did it go in, like we're trying to get a sense of like the trajectory and everything. And it looks like it would have had to have been thrown or fired or whatever. Like they were like raining down from above. These were not thrown by someone on the ground.
Hmm.
And I think Lanema is gonna see you and just come out and just saying, "What is this with the persimmons? What is happening? Did you see it?"
That is exactly what I want to find out. And he's looking up. Are there any tents or stands that are taller that maybe overlook theirs?
Not really.
Could that little flying creature have done this?
Little flying creature that you have no actual context for, and you're only going by a piece of artwork that you saw. That's
Absolutely.
Could a little
I was
flying
purposely
creature have
not
done
mentioning
this?
that.
You're also not there.
Yeah.
Do I see anything that looks like it can either climb or jump, other than myself, in the area? Like, are there any trees? I mean, I feel because this is like a
No, it's like a big it's like a big sort of fairground. These are all like carts and tents and stuff like that. So even the ones that are a little taller aren't really designed to support the weight of someone being up there. So like your impression is like it's very strange that they would have come from above, but you feel like it would have either had to have been uh, thrown or dropped by something in the air, or perhaps like hurled ballistically from somewhere further away.
Hmm. Well, let me go get my friends. They might have a better knowledge. We have a one of my compatriots might have a bit of more natural knowledge than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But
So Lanema adds just that she didn't like as soon as they were being pelted by persimmons from a mysterious direction, she ducked for cover and didn't see anything about where they came from.
hmm, they seem to have come from above, or at least far enough away that they wouldn't have been readily seen.
Mhm.
That is so peculiar.
Yeah.
And he looks at her and it's like, can anyone that you know fly?
I mean, like theoretically, but like no one that seems involved or related here. Like I know
Or
that there are Aarakocra who can fly, but I
hmm,
mean there are
and
entities
no
and individuals that can fly, but I don't know of any specifically.
hmm. Well, that's too bad. Maybe someone that jumps really good.
I mean,
I
like
I
us?
I don't know what to tell you. Like I feel I mean no offense
Hmm.
because she's a gnome, right? So she's like looking up at this really tall Harengon and just says, I mean I just have to say like if someone were to be really good at jumping high, I would expect you to know them more than I would.
Hmm. That is
Hmm.
correct.
Hmm.
Hmm. So he's going to now start making his way over to the area
Hmm.
where the competition was,
Sure.
because he finds this very perplexing,
Hmm.
especially because there's nothing someone could climb or jump on that would look that could be a vantage point for such an act.
Hmm. So I think, meanwhile, as the event is finishing up over there, I think as people are enjoying their shrimp cake, Sid Squid comes over to congratulate you, and he's telling he's like since you're new in town, you might not have realized that I run the Trusty Leak, of course, but we're a one of the newer families around here. We're actually a band of adventurers ourselves that decided to retire and run a food stand, and it's been great so far. So I just
Actually,
hmm?
That explains the super large shrimp.
Well, yeah, it's like we don't know always do those. Those are for the show, the spectacle of it.
Yes.
uh, actually, do you use persimmons in your cooking?
Uh, mm, no, I mean not really. We do skewers. I don't know if you've been over to our shop, right? So like I mean, I guess you could do persimmon on a skewer. No, we don't though. I mean, if that's what you're looking for,
Or
I'm sorry, we
well,
don't.
do you
We
know
have like
anybody who does?
no. I mean,
Hmm.
why do you ask?
Oh, we're outside of these competitions. We're kind of looking at a mystery, and the only thing connecting both is a, apparently a bite marks of a very small creature and these persimmon peels.
Hmm. I mean, all right. Like, what mystery is that? Like that's. I mean, that's a weird
I,
mystery.
well, I think that basically something is causing mischief.
So,
Maybe some creature, some
just as a brief aside, are you deliberately trying to leave out the actual people involved?
yes, considering it's the market business.
Well, okay, yeah, except that you are also going to prevent him from being able to actually give you
Okay,
any information related to that because he won't know what you're talking about.
well, it's
Uh,
it's the
So it's up to
trying
you.
know-
It's up to you. Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
If he doesn't, I will.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Tyne Mo and Sungoon families.
Oh yeah, yeah.
their
Like
conflict.
I have to say, I mean, like there are some of the people around here. I don't like the drama. We're new in the night market anyway, but like there are some of the people around here who actually kind of like it when the two of them fight because it depletes their resources. It makes the two of them easier to compete with. I mean, since they buried the hatchet with their feud, like the two of them are just like the biggest food in town, right? Like
Right.
it's a little harder for I think we're having to do stuff like this to compete, right? Not that I mind it because it's a great time, but I just like I'm just saying I think that there are some people who wouldn't mind it if they were fighting again.
Anybody in particular?
Well, like I'm still learning all the rules and the etiquette of this place, but like one of the things that like I kind of heard through the grapevine a little bit. I mean, like I wouldn't normally be like talking to outsiders about this, but you guys seem all right. So like I guess there's the whole thing like with the family owned businesses that go back generations and generations and stuff like that, and it's considered kind of like bad form to try to buy some other family's business, right? But like I overheard Case and Maroon talking about doing that. So I don't know what that's all about, but seems like it seemed weird to me. I mean, I don't know that he would have anything to do with what you're talking about, but like, I don't know. I mean, like, it did seem like he maybe would be interested in, like, if one of the businesses wasn't doing well because they're fighting again, maybe he thinks he could get a better deal. But like I don't want to speculate too much there, but like that's what I heard.
Understood.
Interesting.
Well,
So I think maybe about now Axel could show up.
hi. Did you find out anything?
Well, actually, something interesting did happen. It seems your persimmons have shown back up, this time as a form of weaponry.
Weaponry? How does one fight with a persimmon?
Well, when they are launched from some distance at a target, they seem very effective at covering them in, well, persimmons.
Given their rarity here, that's some expensive ammunition to be sure.
Quick note, unless you guys specially made a point of it, Sid Squid is still standing right there and seems very interested in hearing more gossip. So he's definitely listening and not making a big deal of his still being there in case you might not keep talking when you
I
realize.
think Xenophon is garrulous enough to actually talk, unless we move specifically away. He's
Yeah, he's not going to follow you, but it was sort of the sort of thing where it's like, oh, hey, maybe I'll see what they're talking about. But yeah, if you move away.
Where would one actually get so many persimmons? And Diana will look at Sid.
And also,
Oh, well, I thought, okay, you guys, are you,
Yep. Yeah, well,
we,
let's move.
we had
Let's move
just
away.
said that they moved
Oh.
away.
yeah,
Oh,
So,
I
like-
didn't. I missed that part.
Okay, yeah. So, like, I mean, if you wanted to stay behind and talk to Sid, you could. But
Oh.
I think the thing is, what I'm going to just tell you is, like, people, you're asking the same question, and they're all going to have the same answer, which is they don't sell them at the day market here, but you could get them through the Radiant Citadel. They're not aware of anyone in town who sells them.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Yeah, everyone is going to give that same answer to that question.
so
Do I, a native to this realm, if not the night market,
Mm-hmm.
know of mischievous flying creatures?
Mm-mm. Not around
So
here.
I think DNR would rather would like to go out and kind of, I guess, since there was a hint about uh, the Arun,
Mm-hmm.
maybe kind of go out around the back of their area and maybe
Okay.
try and find some persimmon peels.
Hmm.
See if there's a link there.
I mean, sure. I mean, if it's what you're doing. What I'm going to tell you is you guys have a little bit of time before it will be time to do the hide and seek challenge, assuming that you're still planning to do that.
Yep. We are.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
But it is starting, those of you who have 2 renown now are starting to certainly get more attention. People are recognizing you and, cheering for you as you walk by. You discover that you are kind of like a temporary local celebrity.
easily found, easily replaced.
Hmm.
I'm going to sidle up to Canthan and say, since you are, a native of this place, even if you're not really involved with the night market, do you know of anybody else who is suffering this kind of mischief? I mean, it can't just be these 2 people. I mean, these 2 businesses.
Well, I think the fact that it is that I suppose it's possible that there's been other mischief around, and we can spend a little time,
You could ask around on that.
asking around.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's split up and just ask around, especially food places, because that seems to be something in common. But just have a look around and see if we can possibly see if there's any other mischief going on. But I would not be surprised if it's only those 2.
There may be someone in the night market who has a knowledge of creatures or in the area, or maybe just being sold. I mean, a lot of we've seen fancy clothes and things, but it's not uncommon for people to buy exotic creatures either.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's another good thing to look around for. Let's all just like make an orbit around before we head to the
Hide and seek
to
challenge.
the hide and seek challenge and
Sure.
see if we pick up any more signs of mischief, exotic pet retailers who maybe are missing in something that's I'm a monkey or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just see what we can learn, just another walk around.
Okay. So first, Dianok was going to try to look around like the back of the. So like the Spicy Brothers, it's a full tent. So like there's the opening where they have sort of the like where they serve out of, but then it's like enclosed around it. Like, are you around the back there?
Yes, around the back.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and tell you without rolling that if you're just like looking around the back there, you're not gonna find anything there.
Okay.
But like that's what you chose to spend time doing. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying that like you don't find anything there.
Okay.
Okay. So Xenophon, what do you spend the next bit doing?
I'm going to wander around, listening, watching. Canthan's idea is good. I'll go off on my own. I now have 2 renown, so
Mhm.
maybe people might approach me alone and
Sure.
be gregarious enough to talk to to a to a bard who likes to talk,
Mhm.
and see if I can pry some tongues loose.
Okay. All right. So I think that you end up, chatting with a couple of people, and you certainly get a sense that not only, like the fact that there are these new disturbances between Tianmo and Zangun, it's causing a lot of commotion.
Mhm.
But this person actually says, and like I've always thought something's been weird about those 2 places lately, because I swear I was walking over by Tianmo Noodles the other day, and
Yes.
I just tripped and like fully fell right on my face, and I went and I looked. There was nothing there. I mean, I know what you're thinking. Like I'm not just like clumsy. I don't like walk around with untied shoelaces or something. Something tripped me, but I couldn't see anything.
Interesting.
Maybe they're haunted.
That is actually maybe not so unusual an idea as you might thought. Thank you.
All right. So, what is Exel doing during this period?
Exel is actually going to he's going to kind of keep an eye out, just kind of honestly not stargazing, but he's going to be watching the skies. He's
Okay.
not trying to say it's aliens, but
Sure. Yeah.
um, because he's really perplexed as to what could be where it could have come from, because this is almost like it didn't rain persimmons.
Hmm. Well, it seemed like it did, but only on the
Yeah,
Tianmo noodle stand.
yeah, it's a micro burst of persimmons.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
So,
gonna keep an eye out to see. I mean, maybe even I don't know, like just I don't know, floating
where,
persimmons. Like
so
he's
where
just
are you doing that?
he doesn't want to do it right up near the the stall.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Actually, which one was this? Was this the? Is this the
Tianmo
same
noodles
one
is
that's
where the persimmons was,
okay?
and
So
then
you know what?
Zungun was where the walk was found.
Right. So he will actually take up station and kind of do a stakeout on Zangoons, but from a distance, so that
Okay.
maybe he's not noticed. Because last time he was.
Well, so one of the things. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, so you're sticking out there. One of the things that I'll say as you spend that time, nothing else happens during that period. But I'll grant you the insight, kind of after you're spending a little bit of time there, is that you're sort of realizing, wait, so something happened at Zungun, and then so when I was watching Zungun, something happened at Tianmo.
Right.
And so it's possible that something is happening just like alternating back and forth. But you also can't help but maybe wonder if someone saw you watching and therefore nothing happened
Went to
while
the
you
other
were
one.
watching.
Right.
It's possible.
But yeah, so and then what Flounce? What were you doing? Were you going with Canthan, or you're each doing separate?
Um, I'll I'll go with Canthan.
Okay.
Um, my people skills are not the greatest. Um, but
You hit things. It's important.
I do I hit things in the shins. Um, but the but yeah, no, I kind of want to do like a little look. You know, he's doing the people watching, and I want to kind of investigate more of our surroundings
Okay.
to see if, you know, there's more random persimmon peels, like maybe back in an alley somewhere,
Okay.
or if there is like.
Well, so what I'll just go ahead and tell you again, just because of the structure of this
Yeah.
adventure, is you are backing up Canthan, who is asking around.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I'm just, we don't have to spend a lot of time on stuff that I'll just kind of go ahead and say,
Yeah.
let's corral you
Okay.
to where
Yep.
the actual clues are. So Canthan, you are also just what you're talking to like
Talking to
random
people,
passerby, or are you talking to like proprietors, other vendors?
shopkeepers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
And yeah, I'm based on the clues we've gotten so far, I'm thinking like some kind of escaped mischievous animal, like a monkey or something like that. So I'm
Yeah.
asking if anybody's seen something like that.
So
And,
what I'll give you is kind of ultimately kind of similar to what Xenophon got, which is
Yeah.
that uh, I think you say like people are definitely talking. It does seem to be whatever's happening does seem to be limited to Zungun
Right.
and Tianmo. It's not happening all over. It's just those two places. And the I think you hear someone say, I could have, I kind of thought that I was making this up, but like since you ask, I swear I saw a broom, and it was standing up just like totally like where it should be. And then I looked away, and then when I looked back, it had been propped up between two stalls at like trip height. And I didn't. There wasn't even anyone over there.
Something is definitely.
It was like a kid's
making
prank,
mischief.
except I didn't see anyone do it.
Yeah, something is making mischief.
Yeah. So I that's kind of what you're
And
getting
it's-
at this point.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dianok, you're not really finding anything outside of the Spicy Brothers tent. Would you try to sneak inside?
Yes.
Okay.
Dun.
Please do go ahead and make a stealth check for me, please.
Dun, 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 dun.
21.
There you
Sneaky
go.
elf.
Yes, you are successful. You when you watch and make sure that nobody is looking, and you are able to lift up the back of the tent just a little bit and sort of skitter underneath when nobody can see, and you are in sort of a back room area where you are not seen by the people manning the store up front. And I think as you are looking around, you see that there are boxes and cabinets that seem to have business records. There are cots for two, and there is a large crate marked peppers that nonetheless does not seem to be with all of the other crates for peppers, or for that matter, even the same kind of crate. It does have peppers stenciled onto it, but it is stored separately from all of the others, and it's of a different design.
Well, I'm absolutely going to peek into that one.
Mm-hmm. So you are, in fact, about to find inside 3 straw-lined bird cages, empty, and a box of persimmons.
Dun dun dun.
And do the cages look like broken or just
No.
Okay.
Like
So
they have little doors that can open and close, but they're
Okay.
like they're not like broken, but they are empty.
Okay. So whatever was in here was probably let loose. Okay.
Escaped or let loose?
My guess is let loose.
I picked up on the Fellowship of the Ring there reference for you.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to grab one of the persimmons.
Okay.
And then sneak out.
All right. How about another stealth check, please?
Okay. 15?
A 15 is enough. I think that it's not quite as slick, but I think what happens is that you are sort of standing up, like dusting yourself off a little bit as someone sort of walks by and gives you a little bit of a weird look, like, what were you doing? But they seem unrelated. They don't stop.
Gotta tie my laces.
And like I think you hear a muttered, whatever you want to tell yourself, buddy.
Oh no!
Hey, being thought of a drunk fool is better than being suspicious of a crime.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so that person does not seem like they are doing the city thing of, oh, someone was doing something weird. Do not make eye contact. Walk away. Walk away.
Don't get
Not
involved.
my business. It's not my business. Moving on. All right. Yeah.
Not gonna, and you're going to go along and just go the other direction.
Yep. All right.
Eventually.
So you hear them announcing that it is just about time for your slot at the hide and seek challenge.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody participating in this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if you would like, I can hop in video.
Well, certainly. We would love to have you on video.
Indeed. Here we go.
Can we face that? Yes, we can.
Yay, there he
Yay.
is.
Yay,
Aha.
welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, so let's go ahead and move to the hide and seek challenge event. You are technically not at this location yet. You will be there in a moment, but let me, so as you are brought in, there is no audience for this one, but as you enter the tent, seated at the middle of this sizable empty tent is a wizened gnome at work amid tangles of colorful yarn. And I have a handout for Madam Culp. I'm going to show to players right now. So, this is Madam Culp. And she, wizened old gnome, and several fuzzy, kitten-sized blue caterpillars drowse on her, nestled in her clothing and hair. The gnome peers up and says, "Welcome, I am Madam Culp. Are you here to play hide and seek with my gentle friends?"
Yes.
We are
Yes,
indeed,
we
good
are.
lady.
So she explains that you are to descend the ladder into a darkened basement, where you will find several luxuriously appointed rooms that you won't especially be able to enjoy the decor of because it's dark inside, you see. And what your challenge is to bring 4 of my little caterpillar friends back with me and retrieve 4 of them within 1 minute. And I hope it could go without saying, but I will say, just in case, they are not to be harmed. They are my friends. They are my livelihood. The caterpillars are not to be harmed.
If we catch them, will they stay with us?
Well, she kind of, holds one in her hand and says, "As you can see, they're very docile. They won't attack or anything, but they may, if you are not sufficiently gentle of heart, they may attempt to escape. But you can see they're not especially difficult to catch. It's just be careful is all."
Well, I'm just thinking more. If you're kind, they won't just, run away randomly.
She's looking at you funny and saying, "What are you asking me exactly? They're little animals. They're caterpillars. What's the question here? The challenge is to catch the delightful little caterpillars."
Okay.
I don't understand the question. If you are scary, if you scare them away, they will run away from you.
Okay.
So don't be scary. That's the
Okay. I will endeavor
right.
to not be scared.
Yes, please don't scare my caterpillars.
I think Exel speaks up and says, if one of us is not to be scary, I think it might be Flounce.
Well, in the meta, what we're talking about here is an animal handling check.
Ah. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But as I warn you, it's dark below. There is a lantern in the first room as you descend, just to make sure nobody falls. But there are no lights beyond, so you'll have to do as you need. You are free to use your own tools or magic, but of course, please do not set my basement on fire. Are you ready?
All right, let's
Yes.
go.
All right. You may descend the ladder and wait by the bottom of the ladder until I tell you to begin, and I will start the timer.
Okay. Flounce is actually going to take off her glaive and leave it theirs.
Okay.
This can and leave it with her and say this can unfortunately be
Cumbersome.
scary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cumbersome in environments where I can't see where it's going.
Yeah.
So
Your weapons, Flounce, you will not need them.
Yeah. So.
well, I would take off my armor, but then I'd be naked except for the fluff. And this is a
And
PG
nobody
show.
wants to see the bun bun.
No.
I think Madam Culp just sort of says that I think this is a conversation that could be had.
Elsewhere.
Just not
It's-
require my presence.
we are about to start. Good, Madam Culp.
All
No,
right.
no fears.
So as
in
you
that
all
regard.
descend into this, the ladder descends into a dimly lit room smelling of dust and sweet spices. Musty furniture and crates are strewn about the space. A door leads north. And as you might be discovering, it is dark. And so there is the one light in here. It is dark past here into the other rooms. And so I believe Dianok is the only one with dark vision. So the rest of you will have to figure something out.
Is the
I
lantern?
did not
can we-
take light as a spell.
Can we grab the lantern? Can it
No,
be taken?
no, that's against the rules. The lantern
Oh.
stays there because it's a safety feature. It's for the ladder.
Ah.
Okay.
Well, I will take a torch from my backpack and light it from the lantern.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I will. I will as well.
Okay.
Right,
So remind me what the that does. What the range of that is.
Bright light in 20-foot radius, dim light 20 feet.
Okay.
I will also do that.
I don't have a torch. I'm going to be sticking with somebody else.
Okay. Bearing in mind that those of you who are carrying a torch, I think is going to be you're potentially going to have to make your animal handling check at disadvantage.
Because
Okay.
we're using one hand. Got it.
Well, yeah. Well, or for that matter, any check to sort of approach or catch the caterpillar.
Okay,
If you're literally holding a torch, it will.
So
those will be
maybe
at
maybe
disadvantage.
since I'm not great at catching things, maybe I should be a torchbearer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Flounce
I'll
will
give you. I'll give you my torch because
Yeah.
I've got
Okay.
something of a bonus for animal handling.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds good then.
All right. So wait. So who has the torch? Who has
If-
torch?
if-
Zeophon.
Yeah, and if Zia, well, and there's a 20. How
Okay.
do we? Can we? Well, if 20-foot radius with dim light outside of that, I won't use a torch then.
Okay.
I think that one will be enough because we're in a basement sort of thing.
All right. So only Xenophon will have the torch.
Okay.
Okay. I think I've got this set correctly. Oop, what? Okay. So I
Also,
believe
let's
that I've got this set correctly. I can check the, yeah, looks like that's working. So please, everybody roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh my gosh.
Well, in this case, literally all it is just what order you go in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no enemies in to speak of here.
Oh, I didn't put myself on the tracker.
Okay, well, so okay.
I got 13
I
I got
changed the map
13.
layer so you were on there already for me, but okay. You got a 13?
I got 13.
Okay. Do you not see yourself on the tracker?
No, I do not.
Okay. I hate.
Yeah,
Okay. You know what? Just
I
the
can
thing-
roll again.
no.
Yeah, we're
No. You use your roll. I'm just putting you all on the tracker, and then we just type in whatever your roll was.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Done.
All right. So we got 5s for both Canthan and Dianok. Which of you has the higher dex?
Mine's 12.
I got higher. I got +2.
All right. Ah. Okay. All right. All right. Good luck, everyone. And I hope you enjoy your time. I'm starting the clock now. Flounce, you are up first.
Okay. So the door is
Over on the left.
this
there.
one. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one over there.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And
5,
technically, it's
6.
not even a door. It's like a curtain hanging that you pass through.
Okay. So I'm going to push the curtain aside and take a look.
Okay. It's dark in there.
Yeah. But
I mean, if you step in there, it's dark.
yeah.
The torchbearer is coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna? Because you're kind of. I mean, people can move through your space, but
Right.
are you doing anything else with your action?
I Actually, I'm going to use my action to dash
Okay.
so that I can get some extra space and get out of the
Mm-hmm.
door. And I'm just going to wander aimlessly and
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
just kind of just pay
You're just
attention
kind of
to my
feeling
ears,
around. Yeah.
feeling around and listening.
Make a survival check.
I'm actually not bad about that.
Hmm?
And that is a 21.
All right. You expertly avoid barking your shin on the corner of a couch. All right. Xenophon, it's your turn.
Yep, I will move 1, 2, 3. I'll move here. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can actually get. No, that's. No,
You
that's
think you
that's
can
60
get
feet.
inside?
You're right. I got one more spot. Right.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And show light.
Yeah.
Yet
So
Lux.
what you can now do is you can spend your action to make either an investigation or a perception check.
I will make an investigation check.
Okay.
That is an 18.
You glance around quickly and kind of try to use your senses to, quickly look in the places you would expect a tiny kitten-sized caterpillar to maybe be. You don't see any in here. You suspect that there may not be one in this room.
I think this room is clear, Flounce.
And so in this room, of course, you see there are two doors exiting, one to the north and
Yep.
then one to the east. All right, Axel, it is your turn.
Exel will move into the room just past our torchbearer. And will he will act. Oh, nice. I will bonus action
Mm-hmm.
bunny hop to the door in front of me.
Let me remind me the reading of that trait, because one of the things that is often overlooked is that you still have your total movement speed, and even if your jump is longer than other creatures' jump would be, it can't
Right.
exceed your movement speed for the turn.
Okay, let's see.
So, for example, if you needed to jump over a gap, you're really good at that, but it doesn't mean you can move more than 30 feet in a turn. Unless it says you can, which is why I just want you to read it.
Let's see. As a bonus action, you can jump. As a bonus action, you can jump a number of feet equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus without provoking an attack of opportunity. You can use this trait only if your speed is greater than 0. You can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expensive usage when you finish the long rest.
See, that's annoying because it's unclear in terms of how it interfaces with that rule. But, like, for example, the jump spell extends your jump length but not your movement speed, and so it doesn't add on. It doesn't stack with your movement speed. I think the primary goal there is with that trait is to have you first of all be able to jump out of range of an enemy without getting opportunity attacks, for example,
Right.
or to jump
Right.
over an obstacle and that sort of thing. But I don't think it extends your movement speed, not unless you want to use your action to dash.
No, that'll be fine. Then I will just I'll make a. Would it be investigation or perception to see if I can hear anything moving?
Yeah. So Xenophon has said he doesn't think that there's any in here, but you can certainly make your own check. Investigation or perception.
Better at perception.
You confirm, you agree with Xenophon, you don't think there's any in this room.
All right. Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Okay. Dianok.
2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get there.
Well,
Yeah,
so
but
7 is that's 35 feet to get.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have 35-foot speed.
You do? Why?
What else?
Would elves have 35-foot speed? I mean, I guess I didn't know that. I mean, I believe you if D&D Beyond says so, then but I didn't know that.
Fleet of foot.
Oh,
Oh,
Yep.
Nice.
there you go.
Okay. And since it's obvious, I'm gonna believe what the other two have said about not seeing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to dash 1, 2, 3, 4, and just
Okay.
to be in there for.
Yep. All right. So you have moved into that room, and now it is Canthan's turn.
Canthan moves up next to um, Xenophon and says, "You know what? I think we'll be better off with 2 torches because we can split up." And I'll use an action to light a torch off of Xenophon's torch.
Okay.
And I'm going to head off to the right once it's my turn again.
Okay.
So
Okay.
1 catcher and 1 looker in each direction.
All right. That is 1 round done. Flounce, your turn again. Lee?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking.
All right. These rounds are going
Let's
pretty
see.
slow. Let's
Yeah.
try to think.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
4, 5,
Make another survival check for me.
6. Yep. We'll do it.
Mhm.
And that is a 12.
Okay. You once again, you sort of your foot sort of touches the leg of a table, and you sort of graze it with your hip, but not enough to like hurt or knock you over or anything.
Okay, and I want to make a perception check to see if I hear anything.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check. I think if you're
Natural
not
20!
well, there you go. Like I was kind of thinking about like maybe having it be disadvantaged, but I'll go ahead and say herringons have big ears, and even though mechanically you don't officially have extra good hearing, I don't think.
Well, we have leporine senses, which gives us
Just proficiency to perception.
proficiency.
Yeah. So I think in this context, though, I'll allow it in this circumstance. But yes, you believe that you hear little tiny scratches that sound like they might be tiny little caterpillar feet to your southeast.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that was your action. Okay, Xenophon, your turn.
all right. So I'm going to go follow Flounce.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
And I will make an investigation check myself.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's a 16.
Yes. So especially with Flounce having already kind of turned to look in that direction, the two of you spot hidden in the corner, just kind of under one of the chairs. Note the little icon here is showing a lizard, but in fact, what you see is one of those blue caterpillars that were in the picture of
Got it.
Manical.
Okay.
So, but yes, you see one of the little caterpillars under the chair over there.
All right.
Axel, your turn.
Alrighty, I will move into the room. I'll move right into the room,
Mm-hmm.
and I will make a perception check.
All right. And I guess because I did it for Flounce, I'll do it for you too. All right. Yeah, I think you think that there might be one to your northwest.
Alrighty, and since luckily it's dim in here, I'm not super blind.
Is it? I hadn't double checked. I thought all of them were dark. Yeah, you should
Oh,
be. You're totally blind in there, right?
Oh, okay.
Do you
No,
see
no,
it?
it's gray. It's a gray on my screen.
Well, it's
you,
supposed to be dark, so.
Oh, okay.
if you're, are you looking at my screen?
No, we're
No.
looking at our
Okay.
screen.
Okay. Well, it should be completely dark in there because.
Okay. Then I will.
According
still...
to mine, it says that the dynamic lighting should say you can't see anything in there.
Okay. Then I will.
If that's
For
not
the
working,
last-
I don't know why.
For the last bit of my movement, I will gently try to move in that direction.
Okay. You bump into a table.
Ow.
Yeah. So like you're not hurt or anything, but I think it stops you.
Right.
Okay. That makes it your turn, Dianoc. Do you say anything, Axel?
Yeah, like I think one's to the north of me.
Okay.
Do you point?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah. Well, Dianoc has dark vision though. So,
Yeah. I have dark vision.
Yeah.
Yes. Then I will.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can make your check with advantage, Dianoc.
Okay. So that would be, could be investigation then.
Or perception, as you like.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Yeah, I think with advantage is 10. I think you
Yeah.
don't.
It was a natural 1 and natural 5.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't see it. All right. That is Dianoc's turn. Your turn, Kenthan.
Kenthan moves into this room with his torch
Mm-hmm.
and looks for the caterpillar that
Okay.
was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make a perception check. And I only get a 10.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't see it
Unfortunately.
either.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll let you roll it with advantage too, because you've got two people already looking in a specific area of the room.
A 12.
A 12 is actually still not enough.
Okay.
You don't see one.
I don't see it.
But Exel is pretty sure he heard something, so it might just be that it's hidden more carefully than you were able to see that time.
Mhm. Well,
You
His
have
that's
to
my
keep looking.
His ears are kind of bent and look like little dowsing rods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pointed straight forward.
I will let you actually on your turn, Exel. Like I will let you basically try to go right to it, but you're the only one, and it's only because you technically succeeded on the roll, even if you couldn't see.
Okay.
Right. So, but that's Kenthan's turn. Like you can't like point at it to tell anybody because they can't
Right.
see it, but you can hear it. So I think you
Right.
can still go right to it. Flounce, it's your turn.
Get it.
I am.
That's our
going-
plan. Get him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get him.
All right.
So what you can do here is you can either try to coax it into your hand with an animal handling check, or you just try to grab it with a sleight of hand check.
Let's.
Grabbing it doesn't
Try
necessarily
coaxing
mean
it.
roughly. It's just, it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's try coaxing it first.
Sure. Let's see that animal handling check.
Am I close enough, or do I need to move closer?
You do have to go all the way up to it.
Okay. So yeah. I'll.
Yeah.
All right. So. Please work. Dirty 20.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So fluff calls to
what
fluff.
do you do? What do you do to coax this little blue fuzzy caterpillar to you?
I try to use my ears kind of like antenna and try to communicate with it.
Yeah. So just
And tell it that I'm friendly.
and it has its little antenna just
Yeah.
and it just climbs right up into your hand.
All right. So now I have 4 antennae on my head.
You put it up on your head, carrying it
Yeah.
around on your head. All right, nice. Nestled between your ears. That's lovely. I like that. Okay, so that was your action to get it, but you do still have the rest of your movement.
Okay. And so exchange thumbs up with Xenophon.
Mhm.
And I will wander blindly into the darkness above me. Ta-dum,
All right.
ta-dum.
Make a survival check.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
I'm
You have
just
more
waiting for
confidence
me
than
to-
I would for this.
That's an 8.
Yeah, I think that you sort of catch your solar plexus right on the edge of a table, and I think as you sort of you bend over, you avoid dumping the caterpillar off the top of your head, but you hear it go. Eh. It doesn't like you shaking it around like that.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so that would be the end of your turn, I think.
Yep.
Xenophon.
All right, let's why is,
Oh, so-
why is my cursor not going here? Okay, so yes, I'm going to go follow her. So
Also,
5.
technically, I guess this should be with Flounce.
Yep, with funds.
All right. Would you like
I have
to-
actually one more skill. So I'll move here and I'll do an investigation check.
All right.
Let's go see. Use those keen Githeri senses, or try to. Yeah, with a 10, I don't think I think
Yeah.
see anything.
No,
So much for keen Githeri senses.
I think I think you're briefly distracted by Flounce sort of trying to catch her breath from knocking the wind out of herself. on the
Yeah,
corner of a
that
table,
makes
just like-
sense. And her cooing over her new friend.
Or that I'll allow that too if you prefer that to gasp.
I prefer that because I'm a social creature. So
Sure,
yes.
sure. Okay. All right, so you're in the new room, but you haven't found one yet. You think there's probably lots more places to look in here, though.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it Exel's turn next, and so you can go right to it. You know exactly where it is. It's just somewhere that they couldn't see it from where they were. So you can make your own animal handling check or sleight of hand check to just try to grab it.
Alrighty. I will. Nope, it's not really okay. Then I will move up to it as soon as I. There we go. And I will make an animal handling check.
All right.
Oh, actually, you know what? Well, yeah, I'll do animal handling
Yeah.
at first. If this doesn't
Sure.
work, then it's going to snatch up this cat.
All right. Okay, yeah, so describe what you do to coax this little caterpillar to you.
Well, aren't you a very cute little guy? And he tries to, slowly reach out to it to like maybe pet it between its little eye stalks
Mm-hmm.
to see if it'll let him, and then if it does, he'll try to pick it up.
Yeah, it does. It sort of nestles against your hand and then sort of just like it hunches in a weird little seated position and looking up at you like it's just waiting for you to just up.
And he'll put it on his shoulder.
Yeah. All right. Nice. So you've got 2. A reminder: the task is to bring 4 back to her.
So not as long so one of us doesn't have to have one then.
Correct. You need to get 4 of them. There are 4. You need to get all 4.
Good to know.
Yep. That's Axel's turn. I think you have a little movement to spare, though. You
Then I
moved
will-
10 feet, so you have more
Okay.
movement if you want to move.
Then I will head over here to get ready to go into the next room.
Okay. Yep. Carrying a caterpillar with you. All right. So Dianoc, it is your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm. I think you can
And
still see that Xenophon and that Flounce has one, but they're still looking in this room. Looks like.
so I will investigate.
Mm-hmm.
23.
There you go. Yep, there is one in here, and it is right here.
And I will point at it. See,
Mhm.
I do believe it's on top of those boards over there.
Mm-hmm.
You are quite correct. Good. Wood elf.
All right, Kent. Then your turn.
You guys have this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys have that area under control, so I'm going to go into there
Mhm.
and look for a caterpillar in that room.
All right.
And here's my perception check. 9.
Okay. I think all that means is that it's not in the first few places you look
Yeah.
at, but you feel
Mhm.
like there's lots more places to check.
Yeah,
in
well,
here.
there's a whole alley down there that's dark, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
head down that way.
So you're not
way.
sure. You're not finished searching it.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. Flounce.
Okay.
I mean, you could try to have two. There's no reason that, it has to be
Yeah.
one caterpillar per person, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to just wiggle my way over on top of this table
Mm-hmm.
and make an animal handling check.
Make a new friend.
Yes. Since I am ideally located.
I think technically you're probably under the table because it's
right.
on the ground, but
Okay. It's on the ground. It looks like it's on top of the boards.
don't worry about it.
Okay. So I'll wiggle my way over,
Mhm.
make an animal handling check.
Like
See
it's
if
on
this'll-
boards, but the boards are not as tall as the table is. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
How's
All
that
right,
check?
and that's an 11.
Okay. Unfortunately, actually 11 is enough for the
Oh,
animal handling.
Nice.
Yeah. So you've got 2 caterpillars now.
Well.
Yeah.
Two
I do.
caterpillar friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are they both on your head?
They will be when I get out from under the table.
So here's the question. Either they're all in a stack where it's one on top of your head and then the other one on top of the first one, or they are side by side kind of squished together and making your ears sort of stand out to the side because they're...
Oh, option number 2 all the way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All
Right option.
Great.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of movement left. I will wiggle my way out from under the table.
Great. All right, so you've
I
got...
don't think I can move the...
I will... The caterpillars that are being carried, I'll just go ahead and count them down here. So you have them still, but
Okay.
rather than moving the tokens around.
Yeah. So there's one more left.
Mm-hmm. All right. Xenophon, your turn.
Xenophon's going to move to here. Oh, actually, yeah. Actually, if I move here, then I'm going to put them into shadow. So I'm just going to. I'd rather not have my friends trip in the dark, so I'm just going
Fair
to move
enough.
to here for the moment.
Okay.
Seems sensible. We might lose the caterpillar.
Sure. Okay. Axel, your turn.
I will move.
So I can, it's one square and you're into where you can see again there.
Right, that's what I'll do. I'll move into the. Right. Do I have enough movement to make it into the door?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you don't quite because you can't get past. Well, if you dash, you can, but then you won't
Right.
have your action.
Oh man. Yeah, I will dash into the room.
Yeah.
In front of.
Kind of might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and you hear him say, "Hold on, little buddy."
All right. Dianok, your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then investigate again. 18.
With an 18, I think, aided by the fact that Canthan has already looked in some spots, you quickly scan the rest of the room. You are pretty sure that there aren't any in this room.
Okay. How many moves did I count? Is that 6?
You need to keep track of that. I don't know. 3, 4. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you've exhausted it.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay. All right. Canthan, it's your turn.
I'll say I don't think there are any more in here. Any in this room.
Canthan.
Yes. Okay. In that case, I will head to the next room here and have a look there.
All right. Go ahead and make your check. Perception or investigation.
Hey,
There you go.
22.
All right.
There's that last little caterpillar hiding in the corner. There he is.
Okay. And I will point it out to the next person coming in so that they can go grab it.
All right. So, that makes it Flounce's turn.
Flounce has 2 caterpillars already.
Mhm.
And so she's pretty much just gonna follow along with the group, but she's not going to try and make it all the way into the next room.
Mhm.
She's got her passengers.
All right. Xenophon, your turn.
Yep, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I'm going right into it.
I'm pretty
I'll
sure.
I'll go right here. This
Okay.
is good enough.
I'm pretty sure that this is round 5, which means when this round is done, you'll be halfway through the timer.
Yep.
All
So
right.
providing light and everything. Yep. We'll go.
Yeah. Axel, your turn.
Alrighty. Exo will move into the room, just inside the door. And where was the little guy?
Well, go ahead. If you go ahead and move there, you'll into the room.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I see
there
it
you
now.
go. Yeah.
But I don't have enough movement to get to it. Yeah, and I have to get up close to it. So never mind. Yeah. So that will be it.
Yep. Okay. Dianok, your turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and gonna try animal handling.
All right.
Be a little friend.
I just
4.
4.
Yeah.
So what do you do that give us this 4? What happens?
So kind of crouch down, hold out my hand, say, "Come on, little guy. Come on. Come on."
It sort of peers at you skeptically, suspiciously, and then it sort of flops over like a cat on its side. Just bleh.
I think somebody else might want to give this a try.
All right.
And I had one space, so I'll move back and
Okay. Perhaps needless to say, it does not make an opportunity attack.
yeah.
That'd be funny. if it did.
Unless you count a sense of rejection. All right. Canthan, it is your turn.
I am going to keep.
You can
the lights
hand off the torch to Dianok if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
allow that
yeah.
so you don't have to make the check with disadvantage.
I will hand off the torch then,
Mhm.
and make an animal handling check. 11.
11 is enough for animal handling.
Okay. And
Hey!
then I pull out a little leaf of mulberry,
Mhm.
and that I happen to have, and offer it and coax it onto my hand.
All right. You've got the 4th caterpillar, and now you need to bring them back to that first room within a minute, which basically you are now officially halfway through your time. So you should probably be good, but you do still need to do that part.
We still have to execute.
Yeah. Flounce.
That's
Okay. How
Maybe
well do I remember the room layout from before?
I'll let you make a survival check again, but the survival check is, it's not. It would be advantage if all you were trying to do is avoid furniture, but like to be able to go to the doors and stuff like that, I think would be straight.
You may want to just head through the door and then wait for the light to come up.
Because we know the door isn't blocked, so you can go at least that far. for sure. Safely.
I'll go. All right. I think I can get 1, 2, 3 feet, three blocks in without barking my shins on something,
Yeah, you're good there.
and I'll just wait for Xenophon to get back with the light.
Okay. All right, Xenophon.
Yep. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Which is the fastest way out?
I mean, it's just, I'm not-
35, 40. I will go. Yes, I'll go. I'll stop here. Well, when we think about this, someone else is coming with the light, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
If you
15.
dash,
Yeah, I'm going to dash to here. This way, provided this way, Flounce is in darkness, but someone will be
Yeah.
coming with lights.
Well,
so the
and
Flounce-
also, Flounce, you just saw the room was briefly illuminated. You saw where the door was. You could go straight
Yep.
there now.
okay.
follow the light.
Axel.
I will try to make my way slowly to the door that was across from the one I came through,
Sure.
but not any further because it's dark.
Yeah. So once you go through into that dark room, you can make a survival check if you want to try to make your way to the other door.
Okay. Yep. And okay, I'm not bad with that. 13.
Yeah, I think that's enough. But how about this? The ruling will be you can get to the door, but you had to go slow. So
Right.
you are at the door. You can feel it, but that's as far as you get this turn.
Awesome. That works.
Know what? Actually, that would have just been your first movement, though. So you still have your action. So you could use action to dash, but you would just be going into another dark room at that point.
Yeah. That's fine because we only have a little bit of time. I'll just go in 5 feet. I won't go any further.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Right. And I will reach up casually and rub the head of the little caterpillar
Yeah.
on my shoulder.
There's lots of peeping going on between your caterpillar and my caterpillars.
All right, Dayanok, your turn.
I'll say to Campton, remember the way out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, could I hand the torch back to Campton since he already has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do that and then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
All right.
Movement and dash.
All right. Kantan.
I've got a torch, so I'm going to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I think as you're hurrying, you're hearing the caterpillar go with each step. Not like in a aggressively aggrieved way, but just like reacting to the bouncing.
That is a move and a dash.
All right. So, round 7, Flounce.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll use my action to dash. 7, 8, 9, 10, and one more step.
Okay.
And wait for the light to catch up to me.
All right.
This seems to work well.
Yeah. Xenophon.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Bring the light here. And yeah, I might as well just get out of the way.
Yeah, and I can imagine that you can kind of like you could be holding that door open.
Yeah, that works. So
Yeah, so like
I'll go here. Yeah.
Like here, let's see. Yeah, here I can
Okay. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Axel.
Let's bring him home.
Indeed. I will move into this room here. And then I will dash right inside the other door.
Mhm.
I think. Or do I have a little more movement than that? Oh, yeah. So I can actually move a little further into that room.
What?
And that's what I will do. Hold on, little buddy. Oh, I kind of want one of these.
They're pretty cute.
I was just thinking they were going to turn out to. I was thinking that we were going to startle one that was going to turn out like to be the rabbit from Holy Grail and just dart off like a bullet.
I'm just pulling up this artwork again. You see, look how cute these little guys are.
Yeah.
Big old feathery antenna.
Uh-huh.
They're adorable.
Aww.
They're very just pudgy little guys. Yep. All right, Dynok.
Okay. So, yeah, gonna go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm out of the way.
All right. Kentan.
Hey, dashing with my torch and my bug. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet.
Okay. All right. Round 8. Flounce.
And I can move through Dynok's position, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So that's 10.
Well, Kentan
20.
is probably who you mean, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Canthan. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's 10 to get to Canthan, 20, 30. And I'll go ahead and dash. Or no, I'll stop here
Okay.
in front of Dynok.
Incidentally, those of you in that southernmost room now are able to see Madame Culp peeking down through the trapdoor and seeing you there. So if you are holding up your 2 caterpillars, she sees those and she says, "Oh, wonderful."
Yeah, me and my 2 are waving with our antennae.
She waves back with her hand. And I think she's got like one on her head and one on her shoulder, and they're doing their little waving too.
Yep.
All right, Xenophon.
All right, I'm going to move to. Actually,
I mean,
people
you
wanna
don't
precede
really
me up
need
the-
to do anything else. You could just move out
yeah,
of the
I'll
way.
just go here and just let everybody go up the ladder ahead of me.
Mhm.
Simple and easy.
Yep. All right, Axel, your turn.
Alrighty. So I will use 20 feet of movement to get to my man at the doorway.
Mhm.
And then it's another 10 feet inside the room.
Mhm.
And then I will use my dash to get to the ladder.
And she says, "That's 3. We're almost home." Dianok's turn. You're kind of all set. You probably don't really need to do anything.
That's all I'm doing.
Yep.
Moving out of the
Kentan,
way.
your turn.
Okay, I will hand my torch to Flounce as I go by, so that I have a hand to climb the ladder with. And
You don't
and
actually have to bring them up. Bringing them to this room is enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, there you
okay.
go.
Well, because she's going to let them go again.
Go back
and for
into
someone
it.
else to do it, right? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She just needs to see them, right? You know, that's why
Yep.
she's peeking down through. And she says, "Wonderful, wonderful, well done. You lot are the winners tonight. And I will post your pictures and names on the board out front. Congratulations. And I hope that it has given you some small measure of appreciation for these delightful little creatures."
Oh yes, they are
They are
very
adorable.
cute.
They are very adorable.
So yes, all 5 of you gain 1 more renown, which means that a couple of you have 3.
Yeah.
which is the maximum because there are 3 games.
Yay!
So I think as you're climbing out and she's just kind of making sure you're all set and watching as the caterpillars she tells you to just set them down gently at the doorway, and they just immediately start crawling back to go look for another hiding spot. So do you chat with her at all while that's happening?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So these caterpillars are what help you create the fabric for your wonderful clothes.
Oh, yes, yes. I mean, there are a couple of different kinds, but these are my favorites. They're certainly the most cuddly.
Oh, so do you know a lot about exotic creatures?
Well, more than some,
Got to report,
perhaps.
Axel.
Actually, it's funny you mention exotic creatures because I think Kasem Arun has adopted some manner of strange pet. Confess my eyes are not very good at distance, but I saw him feeding oranges to some weird little monkey-like creature.
Kasem Arun, the spicy brother?
Yes, that's him.
Okay.
And at this point, I'd be like, I believe I found the source of. It might not have been an orange. I believe it was a persimmon.
Oh, I'm not really familiar with persimmons. Are they like oranges?
I myself, as a player, am not sure.
They are. A persimmon actually is a little bit more like a tomato, but like in terms of its shape,
Oh.
but it is
Okay.
orange in color.
It's a citrus. I think it's a citrus. Yeah.
I've had them. They're pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Then I
Uh-huh.
don't think he has just one. I think he has 3.
Oh.
Perhaps we should discuss this later, Enoch. But it is noteworthy that persimmon. Yeah. So the Spicy Brothers have an unusual pet, and they eat persimmons.
Wait, let's just back up just a moment. Did you mention that you? So I guess did you describe breaking into the?
I did not know.
Okay, all right. So we'll say that you saved that for movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying
Well,
to.
but the key is just that that potentially means that you're done talking to Madame Kusa then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Or not Madame Culp. Madame Culp. Kusa
Culp.
And
is
say-
Zangun. Kusa Zangun.
And be like, farewell, and hope you give lots of fuzzy feelings from your friends.
Oh, well, of course, always. And congratulations. That means some of you are winners 3 times over. That's not something that happens every night, Make sure you enjoy yourselves.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so
Nice.
much.
All right. So as you leave, then you're free to have the rest of that conversation about finding the cages and such.
After we get out and a little out of the way, Dion will say, I managed to access the back of the Spicy Brothers tent, and I found a crate with some persimmons and some cages, the style of cages you'd use for birds. I'm thinking that what we're looking for is airborne.
A flying monkey?
Well, it's not unusual to keep pet
Honestly,
monkeys in cages.
No, but the madam mentioned a monkey-like creature. Exo has mentioned a flying creature. Cage is like flying, eating persimmons, like a flying monkey that eats persimmons, causing mischief.
The biggest question, I think, is how do we reveal the culprit?
We have to catch the monkey.
Oh,
We have to
Well,
find and catch the thing.
You took a persimmon from the thing, right?
I did, yes.
That might be enough of a lure to catch one.
If it likes it, and they're the only persimmons around, we set a
Getting
trap.
hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we're going to do that, we'll have to set up near one of the food stalls.
Near one of the two targets, because I would imagine it's been trained to go after those. It's probably intelligent, because it's not harming any of the other vendors. We've established that.
But I think that someone might be around watching the stalls, because nothing seemed to happen when I staked out either one of the stalls. So I think someone might be watching to see if anyone can see them. So
and then letting the monkey loose, go cause mischief.
Yeah.
And if they saw you and thought, nope, won't do it.
If
Because
there
it's
are
not-
3 of them, they could be watching for each other and communicating. So,
and it's not unknown that we're investigating this.
And now we have some renown. We're not exactly unknown around at this point. A double-edged sword. People will believe us more, while on the other hand, we will not go unnoticed.
Or we could just tell the affected parties what we know, and let them handle how they want to deal with it.
But how do we prove? How do we prove it?
Yeah.
Spicy
Uh,
Bird
we
is saying,
do-
believing
not
that
a
they'll
mon- not
we
a
do
monkey.
have-
believe it.
We do have a persimmon, and those are very rare around
Well,
here. They've
so-
already said.
Well, what I would say right now is that thinking about just in terms of what you were asked for, right now, what they want is not a theory, they want proof, which I think means that you either need more than you have or you need a confession.
Yeah.
okay. I think it'll be easier to get the confession than it will be to.
I mean, you do have the persimmon, so there was that
Yeah.
plan that you didn't really talk more about, but
Well, what do you think? I mean, I am more inclined to confronting
Confronting the
because
bro-
his brother's getting married and leaving town. He's probably worried about being able to hold their business together under more difficult circumstances.
So he's weakening his rivals.
So he's weakening his rivals. And we've already heard people say that, that it does make it easier to operate when those two are feuding. So I think that the motive is there.
well,
The
one of
means is
you
there.
recall talking to Sid Squid said that even that he had maybe been looking into buying another family business. I don't know why I'm helping you with the clues that I've told you already, but sure. I think you guys are pretty confident what's happening here. It's just a matter of proving it.
I mean,
I think probably our first step may be to catch one and then use it, because if it's familiar with one of the Spice Brothers, then it should, if we release it, it should go to them, to whichever one is the one that
The
is
fact
the
that nobody
master.
has seen them makes me wonder if they have really exceptional ability to hide or can turn invisible.
Visible.
So
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that.
I'll mention the story of the lady who got tripped.
maybe I think Flounce might be onto something. What if we did end up catching one, and instead of letting it loose, we have Dianoc here take one of the cages. Maybe they go back home, kind of like a homing pigeon or messenger bird.
But I have a way of alerting us if someone enters an area, and as far as I can tell, as far as I know, it does not require the creature to be visible. This is the alarm spell.
Well, but I mean, at the same time, like it's a busy area. There's lots of people walking around those vendor stands, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Perhaps set up in an area, say, behind one of the.
So I just in the interest of we're towards the end of where we would normally stop here, and you guys are, I think, as you can tell, pretty close. I'll suggest that you're overthinking it a little bit, and that you have some options that have already been mentioned, that more than one that could probably work.
If how about if we all go and post lookout? You can acquire one of the cages, and we then try to catch one. Maybe it'll come. If we could put the persimmon in the cage, and maybe it'll go into the cage.
I think that's all kind of overcomplicated. Why not just talk to the guy and say, we know what you're doing,
Yeah, I mean, to get a cage, you would have to sneak back in and back out.
I think I agree with Cam then. Let's try the social approach and lean on the brothers that way.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let you more handle that, because I'm not as good with words.
No, you may not be. But on the other hand, you've gotten key evidence that we need to make this work.
Yeah.
And we all have skills here.
And
Okay.
Exel just goes, well, if we're going to lean, I'm good at leaning. And he smiles, and it is literally ear to ear.
Scary bunny.
Like, that's not what bunny teeth are supposed to look like. Anyway,
Not at all.
Okay, so are you heading to the Spicy Brothers tent then?
Indeed.
I think without any further dispatch.
Okay. So you head there, and Vi is doing another run of the game, so he's not there. It is just Kasem there at the stand. My microphone stand is moving because my dog is leaning on it.
Oh.
All right. So so you approach him.
I think so.
What do you guys look like as you're approaching? Are you walking up all friendly, or what?
We're a squad.
Okay. So I think he sees you, and especially having your previous conversation with him, he's looking at you pretty warily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I help you? Would you like some food?
I'm looking to see if Camden's going to take the lead, or he's the.
I want you to, because you got better persuasion.
I got better rolls.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got better rolls.
Although
this
in person,
isn't
you're a much more
Lancelot
social
from
person than I am,
Rude.
so. Right. So
Yeah.
right. So I'm the face. Right.
Mm.
We have a matter to discuss of serious import. As you no doubt know, and this that truth is known across the entire of the night market, and Xenophon's gone into the rhythm of iambic pentameter and kind of like sort of recitation sort of thing. I can't do it as well. I can only do it in short bursts, so
Sure.
please don't expect me to talk in iambic pentameter all the time. As you well know, and this is truth known in the North market, there is dispute between the two great families, which we have stumbled into and have become a part of resolution. And we have determined that the source of this strife between the two families, this latest strife, falls on your doorstep.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody knows that those two families have been feuding for generations.
They have indeed, and this is a truth that cannot be denied. However, I say to you, there are new clues that we have taken and brought out into the light. There has been thefts and strange occurrences in both booths, and fingers pointed, yet we have found the truth. We found the curls of a strange fruit not known in this land. And what's more, we understand that there's a creature at work that loves this fruit and perhaps is even within your hands. Diana, please present the persimmon. And present the curls.
What are you talking about? Like, what does that have to do with me?
Diana, please relate what you found inside the tent. If we were going to go into the tent now, what would we find?
There would be a crate in the sleeping area, which would have, which would be marked peppers, but contain persimmons.
Are you saying that you
bird
broke
cages.
into my tent? I should call the guards on you.
And Exel speaks up and says, "Should you?" and smiles eerily at him.
Oh, please relate the incident with the rain of fruit. It's time for you to tell your truth.
That's excellent.
Excel, yes.
And he Exel looks at him and says, "You know, persimmons are a very expensive form of ammunition, especially when rained from on high."
I don't. What are you talking about? What are you saying?
Are there a lot of? Can people see us, or are we kind of off to the side? A little?
Well,
We're right
I
in front
mean,
of their
yeah.
shop.
We're
Yeah.
right. We're well and proud here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll hold that. I'll wait.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
no,
us,
you
like,
have to be
you tell
goddamn
me if
confident.
you want to do something
Madam
else.
Culp told us that she saw this fellow with persimmons. Right?
What-
Didn't
is
she
it-
just
is it-
tell us
is
that?
it? She said oranges, actually, but
Yeah,
Oranges,
she
right.
said, oh, it was a strange creature he was feeding oranges to.
Right. But if we say we know it's persimmons, it's not. Yeah.
Well, I can't comment on what an old lady with bad vision says she saw, but it's not a crime to have persimmons. They can be bought.
So, well then, then how about we just go look and see?
But look at
we'll-
what are you talking about? Look
If
at what?
If what was seen is not present, then there's no blame.
And we were mistaken.
Well, it doesn't. What I'm telling you is that so what if I've got persimmons in my tent? So what? There's no crime in
about-
having persimmons. Anyone could buy persimmons.
Not it. And Exo goes, from what everyone seems to say here at the night market, they're out of season and almost impossible to find at this time of year.
Well, obviously, I found some when I went to the Radiant Citadel. Anyone else could have done the same.
Including the cages?
The cages have nothing to do with it. I'm thinking of getting a parrot.
Insight check.
Okay, well, he's shady as hell, but that doesn't help you get a
He
confession.
shades out. And there's
Yeah.
the matter of motive. It is known that your brother is engaged to be married, and you soon have the business only to yourself. Is that not correct?
Well, okay. So yes, it's true that my brother has betrayed me. Just decided to
Betrayed is a
abandon the
very
business.
strong word.
Well,
for your brother.
it's how I feel, and it's frankly none of your business.
Given that you're disrupting the night market, I believe it is very much our business.
Well,
if I must say.
And Exel will try a bit of intimidation here and say, even if we are wrong, if we just so happen to spread, my friends did win all 3 competitions, which is rare. If they happen to say that you've done something to run afoul of the night market's business, even if we're wrong, that won't do well for you once your brother leaves.
Well, so I think that
He's playing bad cop
well,
to me.
yeah, but I was also just saying, like to some extent, I think you might. Well, so I think what he says to that, and I don't want to deny that you're trying to intimidation, but I think his reaction to that in particular is what you're suggesting is not something that, like, you're suggesting that I confess to something that would also get me kicked out of the night market, which I didn't do.
Man.
So I'm just saying
need to
that your
give him an
intimidation
alternative.
was basically, it would be a
Yeah.
little bit like telling someone who you're accusing of a crime to say,
Right.
confess to the crime or we'll tell people you did the crime and then that'll be bad for you.
How about this? get him to just to get him to stop.
Well, so I think so. What I'm saying is that intimidation is a valid tactic, but I think you need just a different approach than confess to something or will tell people you did it anyway.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
we're making a scene kind of already, guys. I could make a bigger one.
Well,
Well,
what
he
type
looks
of
pretty rattled at this point, and I think at this point what he says is the fact that I'm angry with my brother for abandoning me, and the fact that I am thinking about getting an exotic pet, none of this has anything to do with the Zunguns or the Tienmos, and I don't know why we're having this conversation still.
what type of check would it be to see if I can, like, basically using the persimmon like a call or something to try and see what it would be?
Yeah. What?
Nature or
Yeah.
Animal handling
I think
or-
animal handling.
okay. Natural 20. I won.
I think so you tell me what you do though. Like this is obviously going to be success, but what is it that you're actually doing?
So Dianak is going to step back, like out into area where it's more open. Hold up the persimmon and just up and just say, food, food. Or
Yeah. So all of you, as you do that, you watch him kind of eyes go wide and he pales a little bit. And then as you all watch, this persimmon is suddenly plucked out of Dianok's hand and disappears. But then all of a sudden, you watch Kasem kind of react, and then appearing, dropping invisibility on his shoulder is this little blue monkey creature, which everybody saw on the cover of the book and the handout,
Yes.
and we were all pretty confident what was going on. This little flying monkey creature drops invisibility, is holding this little persimmon, and is snuggling up to Kasem's neck as it eats it. And then Kasem, there's a moment where he just goes, they told me it was a parrot?
if that is a parrot, then, or if you truly believe that was a parrot, then you need to have your eyesight checked.
Go ahead and make a perception check or persuasion check, and I think you can probably get advantage on that at this point.
Oh, like me or?
Well, you're the one that just said something and did
Okay.
something.
You're the one that
Okay,
said
sure.
something. You jumped ahead of me.
Yeah.
You got it. You got this.
10.
Okay. I think that he's still. I think what he says again there is. It seems to me that you are still providing a lot of circumstantial, unconnected things. The fact that I am having problems with my brother, the fact that I have an exotic pet has nothing to do with the Zunguns or the Tienmos.
I think if we bring
Doesn't?
this evidence to the Zunguns and the Tainemos both, it will not go well for you. Surely there's a much
There
Aye,
is
softer
the
solution.
walk. There is
Yes,
the walk.
I believe
The walk, yes, the walk.
there is a piece of it, an item that has bite marks on it that would perfectly match.
Your little friend.
Yes, and it wound up in a place where it did not belong.
Okay. All right. So I still don't see how that has anything to do with me.
It's your creature. You're responsible for it.
Well, but like even if that's true, let's say I've got an exotic pet and it's going out and doing things. That doesn't mean it. It doesn't
You're-
mean
you're-
It doesn't. But what you can do is properly secure it, apologize to both parties. It seems that my pets have been going on a little bit of a rampage while I've been busy at my stall, and I apologize. And I will make sure that this does not happen again. And that way, it's their fault. It's not yours. You were just busy handling the business while your brother was handling the show, and
You can continue
they
working.
Just, yeah, it was just a pet mishap.
And of course, you would take care of any damages that was caused by your creature, seeing as the creature is your responsibility.
So
Oh, yeah,
I think what I think
Let's not.
well,
let's
yeah.
not-
So
let's
let
make
me
it
have
more-
let me have him give him a moment to react
So-
to some of what you're doing, because you guys are kind of just going one like, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that let's give him a moment to react to some of this, which is to say
Okay.
that as you're saying that, his facial expression kind of changes to one that's a little bit more like not suspicious, but like evaluating. And I think he looks around at you and he says, let's say that for the sake of having this business be done, that were I to apologize that my pets, without my knowledge, were causing mischief, you would vouch for me that this is what has happened.
Yes.
It would be what my superiors would call a useful fiction.
Yes. Because, as you said, there's no proof of malicious intent. They just simply got a little bit out of control because they were bored. And you will take the appropriate steps to make sure that that does not happen again.
I am, of course, shocked and horrified that my little cute friends here have been causing mischief without my knowledge. Oh no!
Yes.
I will, of course, do everything that I can to make it up to the Zangoons and the Tyenmos.
Yes.
Shall we bring them here now and resolve this matter now and equitably and cleanly?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, so
We go
Xenophon's
out
gonna go
and-
do that. Xenophon's gonna go grab our two feeding
Yeah.
things and
So
explain to them that we have a resolution and we
yeah.
know what happened. We know what accident has occurred that caused all this, and please come to the Spacey Brothers tent and we can
Yeah.
solve this problem.
So I think actually, apparently while this was happening, when you go to look at them, apparently there was a small fire at Zungoon Family Seafood that made the right leg of the stall collapse, and so now the stall is crooked. And so Kusa was just getting ready to stomp on over to Tyenmos anyway, but you intercept
Yeah.
her, and then I think at this point, have you gone off and you're leaving Kasem there, or how's that
I
No,
think-
no, no.
No, I'm just going. Yeah,
I'll
it's like
go.
so,
I'll
okay,
go get,
so-
or
I'll
someone
go
can
get
go with
my
them with
tie-in.
me.
So
as a
we're
wing person.
montaging this a little bit. You do
Yeah.
go and
Yeah.
retrieve them. You do bring them back, and so you've just explained. So I think do you have him explain, or do you tell them what happened, or what's
Well,
happening?
let have him explain. Let him do the useful fiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens here is that he says, Kusa, Lanmei, I am afraid and terribly sorry that something that I was doing just as a hobby, looking for someone to keep me company with my brother leaving, I found an exotic pet, but alas, I discover that they have been sneaking out and causing trouble, and I am so sorry that this has presented itself as conflict between your two families, which, of course, I would never seek to cause for any reason. And I think that all of these renowned market games winning contestants will vouch for me that I had no idea until they came to tell me that this was all happening, and I can assure you that I will make sure that these creatures find good homes elsewhere where they cannot cause any more mischief here in the night market.
And we all just kind of nod.
Yep, we're nodding.
Nodding Xenophon's not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, so I think there is a little bit of Lanmei and Kusa looking to you like, is this legit? So I guess the case is, without making it a roll, are you actually trying to persuade them, or are you trying to?
I think we want to let them know that this is a useful fiction as well.
Okay, well, so
this is a face-saving, community-saving thing. We don't want to create another. We don't want to create another feud, right? We don't want to create.
Right.
Yeah.
And
when we
We're
go,
backing it.
and when we go,
well, so I think at this point, then they're kind of looking a little bit like they're doing mental math here too, and they say, "Well, of course, Kasem, you know that if it were to be found that you had had anything to do with this mischief in order doing anything like this deliberately interfering with another one of the business, you would find yourself completely expelled from the night market." And he's saying, yes, that's why it's such a, I'm so very sorry that I would never want anything like that to happen, and I wanted to just assure you that I had no such knowledge, and nobody can prove that I did.
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything.
Nobody can prove it because, of course, there's no evidence to support such an accusation because, of course, I didn't. And so, of course, yes, I will offer to pay damages for any cleanup that might be required for what they did without my knowledge. And perhaps that can make us whole, and we can move forward and never speak of any of this again. Yes? And I think Lanmei and Kusa kind of look at each other and then look at him and just say, I think that'll work. And then the two of them look to you together and say, they kind of say, you lot, just a moment. And they're kind of whispering to each other now. And like, the thing that you find now that this seems to be resolved is like these two look like they're best friends. And it's like, well, because the truth is, like, what you had heard is that they had made peace until it seemed like it was all starting up again.
Right.
But they look back to all of you and they say, obviously, you didn't technically do what we asked. However, we are very thankful, and I think we had bartered back and forth, and since we had kind of each made an offer to you, I think what we have decided on is that all of you are entitled to lifetime meals for free, although they kind of, they turn a look to Canthan, and I think, Canthan, your instinct is like, oh, these are all strangers who are just visiting and probably are not going to be getting a meal every night. But if you're local, they're not sure about that. But maybe they're not, like, you can see them thinking that without saying it. But also, I think between the two of us, we can manage 100 gold for you for helping us to resolve this unfortunate, and there's another just dirty look back at matter. And assuming that he stays on his best behavior, there won't be any need, I suppose, to report him. I suppose that all is made well if he pays the damages. So, thank you. I hope that this is the part
Yep.
where you tell
Yes.
this is
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
All
we,
right,
we,
good.
we happily accept
Yes,
your
okay.
offer.
I
And we
felt
thank
like there
you.
was a little bit hanging there, like suddenly you were going to demand more or something. I was just,
No.
sorry, it was just
No.
fraught there for
This
a
is
moment.
fine. This
All
is
right,
fine.
good. So, with all that, I suppose I don't suppose you've all worked up a new appetite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
Absolutely.
chasing caterpillars, that's hungry work.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
Chrissy
I-
Zangoon
And
says,
competing.
well, then I insist because I know you already had some of her noodle bowls that I think that if you come to my shop and you sample some of our fresh whaling slug, you will see that when you want a seafood typhoon, you come to Zangoon and it will be even better than Lan Mei's noodles. And Lan Mei's like, wait a minute. And I think with that, we will sort of fade into
They fade
a
away.
montage. And so once again, you have solved the mystery here
Yay.
at the night market. So well done. And I think as you as we sort of fade out here, we imagine. Hang on, let's see. Yeah, so I think you certainly collectively get 100 gold and basically will be remembered as
20, yes.
20 years.
yeah.
20 each.
Right. So, and I think that we, because we're already a bit later than we normally run, we'll just go ahead and fade out here, and then we can return next time to figure out where our adventurers go from here, what comes next, and we'll be back for more adventure on so many levels, but not next week. Next week we will be off, and perhaps we will be returning the week after that. So, thank you everybody for watching or listening, and we will return. I did that part already. Good night.
Night.
So many levels.